All right, so I just wanted to get you both in a call so that I could hear you guys go over the two main areas of disagreement. One of them was to do with just so I could hear your opinions on like trans people, and also more particularly, I guess you would say more particularly your issues with Mary Chu's one video where she was, according to you, Aiko, just like lying about trans representative. And then after that, I think we should go over the fire bat stuff. So I guess I just want to start with that, Aiko. So you're saying...
Yeah, let's start with the video.
Mary Chu's claims are just unfounded. Could you elaborate?
Well, okay, so I watched the Katie Neves video. I know that she had an issue with me watching that one and not the video that you sent me. But I wanted to watch her coverage of a trans woman. I didn't want to watch a video about how to talk to anti-trans cis man. So that's why I switched videos. My issue with the video is that whatever other research she might have done into Katie Neves, the entire thing that she based it on is just a website, not even a publication, that has no sources in it. It's just like an erotic fanfic. There's not even an allusion to where this information comes from. So, I mean, we can talk about that in more specifics if you want to, but that's,
you know. So is that true, Mary Chu? Is that the entire area in which all of this Katie Neves information is coming from?
Well, first off, no, it's not. There's another source. Second off.
Not in your video.
Second off. Aiko doesn't seem to understand why I sent the initial video. Purely and simply, that video just has quite a lot of my trans takes stated very plainly and simply, in a way that anyone should be able to understand. What Aiko wanted to do was go looking for something offensive, because she already doesn't like me. And the Katie Neves one was perfect. I have lots of other videos about trans people, where I'm like very favorable. I watched a trans woman last week debating this guy called Monty, who's a far-right shithead who's trying to be Charlie Kirk. And I very much was on the trans person's side. What you did is go find something that you could get offended at so you can, you know, shit on me further.
Now, is that true, Aiko? What was your thought process for choosing that particular video?
Like I said, I am not interested in her talking about how to engage with or anything regarding
that wasn't
cis
the point of
man.
sending that video.
I watched it off stream, and it didn't interest me. They're just regular arguments as to what someone would say if they wanted to, you know, push back in a measured way against someone like that. That's not what I was looking for. I've heard that you have made some quite offensive content about trans women, and I wanted to see what that... I'm sorry?
So you went looking to get offended by something that you could show other people and say this is offensive.
I wanted to see what your content was like and what was interesting. Yeah, why wouldn't... Are you saying that the video wasn't worthy
you're just full of shit on this,
of being up?
Man.
Well, Aiko,
oh, so you
it does sound like...
You're just trying to manipulate people into thinking there's some kind of like good faith process here when you just wanted to find the most offensive thing you could.
Honestly...
And you don't understand why I sent you the video I did.
I don't care. This wasn't about talking to you about your overall takes. It's about... I wanted to watch that video because I wanted to see your how much work you actually put into something like this. Like, I can't... Like, how am I supposed to take
but it
you
does sound
seriously
like...
if this is... Perry, am I debating both of you?
Yes.
No, I'm just clarifying. Because it does sound like earlier you were saying that you were looking for that video because it's like an overall descriptor of Mary Chu's content. Would you say that that's what you're doing? Or would you say that you're looking for something that you would disagree with? Because it seems like that's what Mary Chu is saying. You're looking for something to disagree with.
I wanted to get... Well, it's not just... I mean, I guess I figured I would disagree.
Get offended by and use it to be like, this person's a bad person who you already don't like. Very transparent what you do, Aiko. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wanted to see something that represented your most extreme takes, I guess.
You've no idea what represents.
Do you think I can't be interested? You think that I can't just be interested?
I don't know what you're even talking about.
In your content, you think that I can't, like,
No, you're not
what's the
interested
problem
in my
with me
content.
doing
You don't care what I think about things. You
analysis?
told me that.
Well, I don't respect
The
what you
story is
think.
changing constantly.
It's not.
Well, so Mary True, to be fair, would you say it's like wrong for somebody to like look for content that they disagree with to cover on stream? Because if Aiko didn't have an issue with like your other video, but they want to like, you know, make interesting analysis of your content they disagree with, you're almost phrasing it like that's like a bad faith thing to do.
It's bad faith when you already don't like someone and you're like offered to talk to someone and they just suggest...
I didn't offer.
Can I...
I'll be clear.
No, I was...
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I was offered. I didn't say it was you. I said I was offered. I was offered this conversation
You
and
said
presented
I
a
did,
video
but okay.
that gives...
Mm-hmm.
Please stop talking. Jesus fucking Christ. Where did we... Ask the question again, Parry. I've been...
So... Would you say it's like bad faith for somebody to look for content they disagree with to cover on stream? Aiko did watch your other video off stream, but they just didn't see it as, you know, good stream content. And you're saying it's bad faith for them to watch a video that they disagreed with.
It's not bad faith by itself. It's bad faith when you already don't like someone to go looking for something that you can find offensive and paint them as a certain kind of person. Especially when, I don't know, I make myself available to talk to if people want to ask me about my takes. I don't know if Aiko even understands the actual point of like the stuff I say about someone like Katie Neves.
I mean, to me, from this video, I'm going based off this video, it seems like you took this essay and just went with it. You talked about it as if these were facts. You even said, I was just watching, I didn't get to finish it, but I watched you talking about this video and wait, sorry, fuck. My cat is like trying to push things off. Okay. I'm sorry. What was the thing? I got distracted. Sorry. Oh, actually no. The sources. So, me seeing this, you reading it aloud, you even mentioned in your video that, oh, look on the thumbnail, there's the words on the thumbnail that support what I'm saying when that's just from the essay.
Yeah, there's more.
That's not a source. There's literally there's not even a reference to a source in this. If like when you look at this in the essay,
well, whatever is in the essay, I know more than what is in there. So why don't you do your research and then talk about this?
Actually, well, I mean, I did. This is my research. I wanted to see what your video is. And if your video was incomplete, is that my fault?
Well, then go looking for more info. I don't know.
Why? I don't care about Katie Neves specifically. I'm interested in your lack of standards when it comes to sources. What
about your lack of standards?
That you are willing to just take something like this. Someone that said pronouns can act like rohypnol and talking about tricking women into lowering their guards down and this weird like fantasy. No, you literally were talking about, you read aloud how the feelings of excitement and shame and humiliation after being caught wearing his sister's underwear and gleefully, eyes partially shut, his lips curled with euphoria. Like, what? How could you take a source like that seriously?
Because I know what
How could you treat it? Oh, do you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then why didn't you include any of that?
Why should I? Why does it matter?
Because it's a video that you put out about a person? Do you expect everyone who watches your video to go and just dig up the subject for themselves to make sure that you didn't fuck it up? When people like a content creator, they watch their video. No, when people like a content creator, they watch the video and they assume that the person, if they like them, has done their due diligence to some measure. You have not presented that to us.
Okay, maybe I should.
Why is the onus on me?
Well, you should probably understand the subject you talk about, that's all. I do understand the subject I talk about.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like you have that much media literacy if this is your standard.
I don't care what you think about my media literacy.
I mean, you should care about
care what
your
you think?
media
No.
literacy. No,
I
you
should
don't have to
care
care
what
what I
some
think, but
fucking
maybe you
Twitch
should
streamer thinks of me.
consider your standards moving
I think
forward.
you should consider your own standards and then get back to me
Like about what?
about trans issues being 2021 talking points. I'm trans.
Oh,
This
no.
doesn't end
That's
for
not what
me.
I meant. No, I'm sorry. You misunderstood. When I said 2021 discourse, I mean the kind of discourse that we did year after year, every Pride, it would come back and it'd be this whole cursed,
Pride?
never-ending debate thing.
What's Pride got to do with
yes.
anything?
Every year when Pride Month would start, it would go back into this discourse.
So what?
The fear mongering about trans people and about trans people gooning in front of children. And so
What's that got
we've
to do with
heard
anything that I said.
you're saying you just said that I called these issues 2021. I'm saying that I didn't want to get into
And then you're listing
discourse
things
with
that have nothing
you
to
that
do
was
with what I
similar
talked
to
about.
that. I'm not saying that 2021. I'm not saying that it was left back in 2021 or that it's not important or
You're leaving it in
or real.
2021 because you won't talk about it now.
No, I don't want to
still
have that
trans.
discussion with you. I
I
don't
didn't
want to
stop transitioning
have
in
that basic.
2021.
I'm sorry.
I didn't stop transitioning in 2021. You can leave it behind because you're cis. It doesn't matter to you. You can just fuck it off.
I don't want to have this conversation with you. I don't care about talking to you about sports. That's what I meant. I didn't mean that it's not real. I personally don't care about sports, and if sports
don't care
stopped
about trans
existing
issues, to
tomorrow,
be
I
honest,
wouldn't okay, let's talk about trans issues then. Like, what do you think? You mentioned something about me not caring about bathrooms?
Bathrooms? Did I? I can't remember.
Yeah, you said something about like how like it doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect
Bathrooms
you,
don't
it's
affect
cis.
me. Yeah, it doesn't. But
So you can just
I
leave it in
heard what you
2021.
were saying. Well, no.
There wasn't
I
a
mean,
good reason
this is
to
like
say
an
you didn't want to
ongoing
talk
issue.
about this
I
with
care.
me.
I care because people.
You
When
don't
I
care.
so
Don't
do
lie
I-
to me. I'm trans. I know this shit.
I
know when
don't
people are
care.
lying
Do
to
I
me.
care about you specifically? I don't care about you, but you are not the only trans person. You're not the arbiter of transness. So
Didn't
if
say I
you
was.
want to go do some other thing, if you want less rights, that's fine.
I don't want less
But
rights.
I think that people should be able. I'm sorry?
I don't want less rights.
I mean, I
don't
did see
understand
you
what I'm
also
about.
say that people were trying to get you too many rights. I don't need you to advocate for all these rights. It's too much.
You don't need me to do anything because you're not trans. You should butt the fuck out.
No, that's what you said.
Mary, so
You
I did
said
want to
that
ask you
people-
about this. If
I
you'll
said
just
what?
pardon me. Because it seemed like people were listening to what you were saying with regards to cis people talking about trans topics. And I understand the point you made earlier about what Aiko said about Twitch Pulse 2021 stuff. But do you really feel like cis people can't have opinions
course they
about
can have
trans topics and you have to... Well, it seems to me like you're discrediting Aiko's criticisms of your trans analysis based on her not being trans. Am I
Well,
wrong
The
for
issue
saying that?
the issue I take is when cis so-called allies tell
I don't care
trans
about being
people-
an ally.
Shut up.
I'm just telling
Well,
you.
let me just finish.
Please be
let Mary
quiet.
finish
Go
then.
ahead. Go ahead.
Please be
I
fucking quiet
apologize.
for like 2 seconds. Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
What
continue.
I have a problem with is cis allies who go around telling trans people how they should talk about their own issues. I don't like that. I think that is transphobic. I think Aiko is transphobic.
Right. But
Oh, no.
so I guess I would ask, do you think that any trans person saying anything about trans discourse, a cis ally or not or whatever, isn't it's transphobic of them to criticize that?
Depends on the criticism.
So
have
what
an
about in this
example?
case? I guess you're saying Aiko's transphobic, or I feel like you said something to that effect.
Yeah, I think woke
What
scolding
criticism
someone
of
like
her
me
is...
is
Uh-huh.
transphobic.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? Say
I
it
think
again.
I think that to woke scold me is transphobic in your case, yes.
I mean, am I woke scolding you, or
Yeah.
I'm just saying my opinion on
No, you're
your
woke scolding
conduct?
me.
I mean, if you want to take it like that, that's fine.
No,
I think you're also
doing it.
woke
It's not what I'm
scolding.
taking, it's what you're doing.
Okay, let's say I'm woke
Okay.
scolding you.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Okay? What's the problem? You woke scold people all the time. You say
Right.
that cis people can't criticize trans people on their issues and
Didn't say that.
whatever. You did say that. What did you say?
It's you policing how I talk about
me
trans
see.
issues that's the problem. You don't
See,
understand the
if I
points
just
I'm making, and you're
disagreed-
offended on people's behalves. You don't seem to
If-
understand what
if-
I'm actually saying with any of this.
I mean, if it was just a disagreement of takes, then I wouldn't bother. But I find the overall way that you speak, I mean, the stuff, again, I want to be clear. I do not care about femyas. I don't know femyas very much other than like through Trough and you know, watching Firebat stuff. This is not about that. This is purely, I got interested in this when I saw you say those things to femyas because I was a bit taken aback with the amount of vitriol involved in there. I was like, what is the source of this bitterness? So
Yeah,
I
you
wanted to
just
see
came
remind
in
people
halfway through
what Mary Chu
initially.
says, just so that people are on the same page. Aiko, would you like to
wait,
remind
with
people?
what?
What
when
she
I-
said about females, could you
when I
remind people?
called-
Or if Mary Chu wants to say it or whatever.
When Femyas was going to, do you want to see the clip?
No, we don't need the clip. I called Famios a crossy.
just,
I called Famios a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, little boy, crossy, but not just that. It was the way, the vitriol, and like, I've been full time since you were X amount of years
Yeah, you
old
came
or
in
whatever
halfway
that
through an
was.
argument. That's the problem. You don't actually know
I
the
was
context
there.
of
I
any
was
of this.
watching.
No.
I was watching.
No.
I
You don't
was. I
understand
did
what I'm
watch
saying.
that.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
This
Okay.
predates all of that. There's a lot of stuff that was going on, like this person telling people to kill themselves in like VC in my Discord constantly.
I don't care what she's been doing.
Well, then shut the fuck up about
That
it.
doesn't.
Then.
I'm talking about why. I'm talking about your 35-year-old woman conduct towards a 21-year-old. If you were
Who
younger,
cares
I wouldn't
about that
even
age? Stop
like
babying
engage.
people. Stop
Because
babying
it's-
people. This person is old enough to know better.
You are behaving.
They are old
like,
enough.
You are
To
behaving
choose
like
how they act
a
on the
child.
internet, and they get bit sometimes because they bite others.
You
I'm
act
sorry
like
about it. I'm
a
not sorry
high
for
school
this person.
mean girl.
You're a mean girl.
That's-
man.
I mean, that's, I'm saying that. Like, you were saying to her, like, you are an elder and she should be bowing down to
I didn't
you
say
and
that
what
at
you
all.
say that she should be doing. You are shitting on her for going boy
Oh,
mode
no.
outside. When I looked at your bio, okay? You said, it says you've been out since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So you're older than Femyaz is right now. So what right do you have to say what her timeline should be?
I'm not saying there should be a timeline. I'm saying that someone like that is not even a real trans person in a lot of ways because they won't be
Femyaz?
themselves all the time.
Because they
That's,
what?
that's being a cross-dresser. A cross-dresser is someone who dresses up at home and then goes out and presents as male everywhere. If you have a good reason not to be presenting as trans, then maybe, but what kind of reason would there be?
What do you mean? People have their individual lives. Like if someone's gay and they come out of the closet,
Femios
that's
doesn't
on their
present-
time. It depends on.
Femios doesn't present in public because Femios is incredibly insecure. Femios is incredibly insecure about their appearance, but constantly bullies everyone else about their appearance, including people in my Discord who she told to kill themselves. So that was
Okay,
why
then you
there was a
should
lot of animosity
kick her.
going in. You
Kick
got
her,
in
ban
here.
her.
You got in here halfway through an issue between the two of us, and you're judging based on shit that you don't know the context of. I'm just not very interested in your Femios takes, to be honest.
Again, I don't care about Femyas. It's
Then why are we
you,
talking about this?
because it's your conduct. It
I don't
doesn't
care what
matter
you
what
think about my
Femyas has done.
conduct.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
I've noticed
you're the
you
internet
deflect
referee.
to what other people are doing. No, I'm not. I'm just watching
acting
on my
like
own
it.
stream. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch.
I don't watch
Well,
your streams.
Aiko,
It's
just
terrible. You
out
take
of,
fucking
like,
5 hours to
curiosity,
cover one
Aiko.
video.
Yes.
All
yes,
right, Mary
Eric?
Chu, listen, Aiko, is there any behavior, is there any like behind the scenes behavior that Femius could have like, been engaging in that you think would like more justify what Mary Chu said, right? Because you're saying you don't care, but I'm sure you would agree. Let's say that like, I don't know, like Femius said something disgusting to Mary Chu. That would you agree or disagree that more justifies Mary Chu's behavior or the things she said?
If Femyaz like raped Mary Chu, I think that Mary Chu can say anything she wants about her. But I'm
Right.
talking about Mary Chu's way of I mean, like the way she carries herself, the way that she talks about things.
Oh, it's always the generality of the generalness of how you carry yourself. It was general bullshit.
I'm
And if you
talking-
actually listen
what
to
do you-
anything I
I've-
say, Jesus Christ, it's
I've
such a waste of my time.
I
Harry.
pointed
What's the
out
point in-
specific things. I pointed out specific things. I don't know why
Yeah, I was
you
mean to
have a
Femyaz.
problem when I make a general statement after saying specific things.
'Cause
What
it's
I
just
mean is
tedious,
that
is all
I don't
anyone says.
care. Let me finish.
Go on.
What I'm saying is that it could be if Femyaz is doing these things, cut them from your community. Don't talk to them. Ignore them. Like
That's the
I don't.
advice.
No, I'm just saying there's no. It's I don't take, as Perry asked, I don't think that the conduct of the other person is what should dictate your behavior. Own your behavior as it is. You don't need to bring
Did I
in,
not
like, if
apologize
you're fine
yesterday?
with it, you don't need to, huh?
Did I not apologize on Sunday stream?
Did you mean it? Did you mean it?
I don't know. Did I mean it?
No, I'm asking genuinely.
No, I'm asking.
If you tell me you mean it, I'll believe you. I'll
You don't believe
believe you if
anything
you tell
I
me.
say. There's no point. I might as well say
Right
anything.
now, just say, if you tell me that
I
you
might as well
mean
say
it,
literally
I will
anything because you
accept
people
that.
just make shit up about me constantly. There's no point.
Why won't you answer? This is what I
Just
mean when
decide
I
for
say
yourself.
you obfuscate.
What has Aiko been believing about you, Mary? That's made up. Also,
Wait, no. Can we say, Parry first? Can we just ask Mary,
Yeah.
was that apology on President Sunday stream genuine? Since you brought it up.
It does. Well, I would ask that, but it just seems to me like
I want this answer because this is my issue. Is that, like, she will just dodge, she'll deflect onto what other people
But
are doing.
if they already
What a
said that they
straight
were
answer.
sorry.
Yeah, it's almost like it's
Why
very
couldn't
easy
you
to
just
fuck
say-
with you, Aiko.
I just want to know. Did you watch it, Perry? Sunday's?
No, I didn't know. I didn't
stream?
watch it, so I don't.
Okay,
Did they say it in like a
so what I
sarcastic
wanna
way?
Say, no. President Sunday said, I think you owe Famias an apology. Mary Chu said, I apologize. She just brought it up right
Okay.
now that she apologized to Femias, so I'm asking, did you mean the apology?
I don't know, did I?
Do you
Well, it just
see what
seems
I'm
to me,
talking
Aiko,
about?
Yes, I
that,
do see
like,
what I'm
Harry,
talking about. That's what I'm
tell
fucking
me
with you
you
because you're a
know.
fucking
Can I
loser. I don't
say-
give a shit.
Let's
No, but
not
I'm
move on from
answering
this.
you because
Harry.
no matter what Mary Chu says now, then you could say, "Well, do you mean what you just said?"
You're
I
the
don't
expert
understand
No,
on
what's
I
how I
going on.
won't.
think.
I
You're the
promise.
expert
I
on how I think.
promise.
Tell
If
me,
she
tell me.
answers, no,
Suddenly
if
you won't
she
want-
answers,
suddenly you won't
I
psychoanalyze
will
me?
accept it. I will just accept it. I will not
But
be
you-
like, do you
but you-
mean
why
that?
didn't you
I will
accept
not do it.
the
Now
other
you're
one?
making it too easy.
I'm sorry, what?
Now you're making it too easy. Now it's more fun to
I'm
never
saying-
confirm either way.
What?
That you can go back to your little fans and be like, oh my
Okay,
god,
this
they
is
totally didn't
very
mean it 'cause they
cope.
wouldn't answer the question.
Okay, you're
Oh my
saying
God,
this
I'm so
because you
smart. I
can't
know
give
how
me
to
a
read
direct
people.
answer. This is what intrigued me about you in the first place, because you don't give direct answers. And that makes me wonder, what are you pivoting away from? What are you hiding?
What am I hiding? I'm not hiding
So
anything.
I want to know, you brought up the apology,
I have a lot of disdain
saying that
for
you apologize.
so I
So
don't
did
answer
you
your
mean it? That's
questions.
all I want to know.
Did I mean my apology? I don't know. You're the expert.
Yes.
You know how I think, apparently. Why don't you tell me?
I am an expert in the fact that I've witnessed you doing this over and over and over, of pivoting. I don't know.
I'm an expert. There
You'll
we
find
go.
out. You'll
told
find
you. I
out.
told you.
So I don't
Mind
want to move
reader.
on from this until you actually just respond to that. It's very simple. Did you mean the
Respond to
apology
what?
to Femias? Yes or no? You
Maybe.
brought it up. So you're actually 13 years old right now.
Am I? Why are you picking on a
Let's
13-year-old?
continue. Okay,
Why
let's
you as a
I'm not moving on from this
45-year-old
until
having
you
a
give
go
me
at
an
a
answer.
13-year-old on the internet? That's a bit mean, isn't it?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Do you want to continue or do you want to stay on this? I'm a bit confused where you
I am
want to take
gonna
this
no,
conversation.
I'm not
Aiko.
letting Mary brought the apology up. She said
Yeah, it's
that she
my fault.
apologized
It's
on
my
President
fault.
Sunday's stream. It literally is. You brought it
It's
up,
my fault.
so you should answer.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I'm glad.
It's always
I'm
my
glad
fault.
you
It's always
admit
someone
that.
else's
So
fault.
yes or no? Did
It's
you
always everyone else's
did you mean
behavior
it?
that I'm correcting, and
Did
somehow I
you-
never have to look at my own. That's you, right?
I mean, you did say a lot of things about
What are you
me
as a
that were
45-year-old doing having a go at a
projection.
13-year-old on the internet if I'm 13?
So again, I'm not moving on from this. Did you mean your apology to Femias on President Sunday stream since you brought it up? Yes or no?
Did you cry because Nick Fuentes and Destiny went for lunch that time? That was quite funny.
I would be happy to talk about
did that upset you so
right
much?
after you answer. We can talk about that and any other thing. We can talk about Nick Diorio DMs. We can talk about anything right after you tell me, did you mean your apology that you just brought up that you gave to Femias on Sunday stream? Yes or
told me
no?
you're-
Did you mean it?
You told me you're the expert, so you should tell me.
I don't know why you think I'm a mind reader.
Because you said so. And you act
I
like it all
never
the time.
said so. So I'm
said
not
you were the
moving on. We can
expert.
talk about
You
anything
said you've watched 3
you
of my
want.
videos, so you're an expert on me. You're the Mary expert. I don't know anything.
After
I don't know why I
this,
do the things I do. Why don't you tell
everyone
me?
is seeing
Why don't
that
tell
you
me?
refuse to respond. I will talk to you about anything you want after this. You can ask me anything.
Oh no, I'm happy
I'm
having
not
this
going to
discussion.
move forward.
We can stay here all day. This is great.
Okay, great. So
But I don't understand. I'm a bit confused, Aiko. It's like, why would you not believe Mary Chu when they said it on President Sundays in the first place?
she's
That's
not
the only issue I
saying
have.
if she meant it.
Well,
Yeah, I
but
have
why
to
would
say
you
if I
ask that in
meant
the
it.
first
Direct
place? That's what I'm.
Parry. If you're not going to press her, then you're just
Well,
debating with her against me
Yeah,
right
but do you
now.
actually mean that
But I'm just
genuinely, Aiko?
confused
Do you actually mean that
about
statement
why-
genuinely?
Either stand down and
Like, I
wait,
agree they're not
Parry.
answering. I agree they're not
Yes,
answering.
she's not answering.
That's obvious.
Do you think it's
But, like,
reasonable
why are
for
you
her to not
asking?
answer this?
Yes, yes, I do. That's the
You
issue.
do? Why is
that?
that?
It seems like because
Why
it seems
is
like
it
you brought this out of nowhere. They've
She
already
brought it up.
answered how they feel
She
about the
brought it
Femia
up.
situation. Yes, but
She
and
brought
you're
up apologizing.
asking if they meant it.
Parry.
But why would you ask
Should
that?
we look at? Should we pull that up? Should we see her apologize?
Gonna
Sure.
bring it up.
If you
Oh my
think that it matters, then I will play it on my stream.
Let's
and
find it
go
then.
over it and screenshot.
Okay, let's see. Does anyone have that link? I will. You want to do it that way? All right. Just wait it out. Let's see. Let me find his.
Yeah, what I wanted to like move the conversation to was
No,
asking.
we're not. That's fine, Parry. But
you-
I am not moving on from this until all she has to say is yes or no. But she doesn't want to.
Well, I don't know if you're
Seems like-
genuine
So-
when you ask whether you think I'm being genuine. So I think you should
It
confirm
doesn't
whether you're
matter if you
genuine in
think I'm
asking that
being
question.
genuine. If you are
No,
being
why does it matter
genuine,
when
it
I'm being
shouldn't
genuine then?
matter if I am or not. The answer
It's
is
always
very
on me.
simple.
It's always on me.
You
It's always on me.
apologize to Femias
The
after
50-year-old woman on the
President
internet
Sunday
doesn't have to
said-
take
President Sunday
responsibility for anything.
said that you owe Femias an apology in his
Yeah,
opinion.
I was in the conversation,
You said,
retard. I
I'm
know what
sorry.
happened.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I was in the conversation, retard. I know what happened.
Well, then why don't you tell everyone else?
Why don't
Did
you
you
tell
mean
me
it?
if you genuinely actually want to know or not? Because I don't know if you're being genuine.
I
right
do
now.
genuinely actually want to know.
I
Genuinely?
don't believe you.
That's all that I want
You
to
need
know
to do
right
more
now.
to show me that you're genuine.
I want you to
in
say
asking
it.
This question.
I want you to say it, but you won't because
Yeah, but
you can't
genuinely,
stand
why?
on business about anything. Stand on business. Do it. Just say it. Did you mean your
What, for
apology
you?
to Femias?
I know. You tell me. You're the expert. You told me you're the expert.
That's not an answer. I couldn't possibly. I could guess, but I would never know because this is you. You
What,
are
'cause you
your
don't know
own
shit?
person, Mary. You have your own inner world. I don't know how deep it goes, but you have the answer inside you. I believe you could give it to us.
Right, but I
Do you
could. By
genuinely
that
believe I
logic,
could give
no
it to
matter
you?
what Mary says now, you could say that same thing to what she just said. I never said you won't, but I think Aiko.
I'm sorry,
You
what?
are being a bit unreasonable. It just comes off as you're being
How is it
unreasonable here.
unreasonable for me to not move past this point? That
Because,
shows
like
very
I've said- like I
obviously
mentioned
that she
before-
can't engage honestly.
Well, because she's already answered it on President Sunday, so you're just
No,
asking
she
her to
hasn't.
repeat.
No, that wasn't
she-
an
she did.
answer. She brought it
She
up.
said she was sorry.
No.
She
No,
said I apologize.
She brought up the fact that she apologized. I asked if she meant it, and she won't answer.
I'm glad we're being reminded of what just happened in the conversation we're all in.
Yes,
That's
and the
very good.
fact, yeah, I'm not gonna let you forget. I'm not gonna let anyone forget.
Genuinely,
because
though?
it matters.
Like everyone can see that that's happening. I just don't
Not in
see.
this. Everyone can see
why-
that it's happening. It seems
Can
like
everyone
you're not
genuinely
really
see? Though? Can
acknowledging
we check that
that
everyone
it's a real
genuinely
thing.
is seeing or not genuinely seeing? Because I think that's important.
Hold on, I'm looking for the thing, so you can think about if you want to
You're
answer
actually
or
gonna
not
play it? Oh my
while I look it up.
Let's do micro-analysis on my body language and shit. Epic.
Oh no, I'm literally just asking you if you mean it, if you meant it or not. We can move on right now if you just tell me.
Are you
Did you
literally
mean
genuinely asking
when
now or literally
you?
not genuinely asking?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm just gonna look and okay. Let me find it.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand that that Mary Chu brought up the fact that she apologized, but I don't see
Here.
why her bringing it up
I'll give you
justifies
the timestamp right now. All right, I got a
demanding
link
this.
for you.
But okay, all right.
I got a link for you. Will you screen share it for us, please?
Yeah, I'll screen
It's
share.
very important,
Yeah,
Barry. You got to understand.
I'll screen share.
It's
Okay.
2:59:29.
Don't look at my doodles. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Okay. 49, you said?
What?
Lower one.
Sorry for calling you a boy.
Right.
Apology bluntly. Maybe she owes you one too,
I'm
but
sorry,
I think you owe her
Femias.
one.
I'm sorry for calling you a boy.
Okay. Well,
So is that it?
Yep. So all I'm asking, since you brought it up, I'm asking, did you mean that?
Why don't you tell me? You're the expert.
You've said that a bunch of times. We
Yeah,
have
because
seen
you've asked
it.
the same
I
question 20
wasn't
fucking
there.
times.
I'm not in your head.
I know.
This is a very
Stay out.
simple
Just
question.
it's-
Did you mean you? This is the issue. My issue with you is a lot of times you don't say what you mean and you won't stand on business.
Okay, so what do
why
I
don't
mean
you
then?
just stand on business with that? I
What do
don't
I mean
know.
then?
I'm not you. I'm not you.
What
I
didn't
don't
mean
know.
that I've said in a different
I
way?
don't know.
You don't
I
know,
don't
so I say it
know.
then.
I want to know. I want you to tell me yes or no. Did you mean that apology?
Do you genuinely want me to answer, or are you just saying you want me to answer?
I genuinely, and I'm saying that I want you to answer.
What if I don't
In
believe
this
you and
moment,
need
there's
further proof that
nothing
you're
I
being
want
genuine?
more in this conversation.
What if I don't believe
this
you
is
and
all
I
that
need
is.
more proof that you're being genuine?
You think that you can only be genuine to people who are genuine to you?
I don't know.
Really? You don't think it's worth it to be a genuine, authentic person all the time with your own thoughts and opinions that aren't
Am I
based on
not?
other people? I don't know. This is a question for you to explore, maybe with a therapist.
Oh wow, yeah, I'll go see a therapist on your advice. Why don't you
Okay,
cut down
but
on the
I understand,
THC?
Mary. Listen,
THC
Mary.
is
Mary,
bad for
listen.
you when you
Just
have psychotic
answer.
symptoms.
I
We're not
understand.
moving on. I promise.
I
we will
understand,
Why don't you
talk
recommend me a
Mary.
therapist?
anything.
Why don't you get a list of people
The
local in my area and
arbitrarity.
I'll call them up? How about that? Actually help a
I
person
understand the
instead of just talking
arbitrarity of
shit.
this, Mary. But like, could you just answer the question so we can move on?
Answer
I
what
understand it's
question?
arbitrary. You know, the one that's Aiko seems to be
What was the question again? I forgot.
hammer. Go ahead.
Let me say it again, okay? The apology we just watched, you say to Femyaz on request of Sunday, or rather Sunday saying that he thinks you owe her apology and you apologized. Did you mean that apology that we just watched? Yes or no?
Maybe.
See, can't stand on business. Can't stand on business.
Okay.
You need a
so
sense of
that
humor,
makes it
Aiko.
She
clear.
knows that
You're deficient in that
because-
area. It's supposed to be fun. Lighten up. Lighten up. It's supposed to be fun. You're streaming as they're doing a shitty job.
Yeah.
Where you
That's
have to
what-
talk
that's
to
what
fucking
you're
shitters all day
saying.
and get
That's what
fucking
you're-
told that you're
you
fucking the
are-
worst person ever because you did something a fraction of a second too slowly for their liking. Lighten up. It's
Huh?
fine.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You
But
don't know
this
what I'm
is
talking about ever.
embarrassing.
That's the problem,
This
mate.
is incredibly yes, because you talk nonsense and you talk vaguely.
No,
and
I
you
don't.
won't
You just
say
don't understand.
yes or no. No, maybe.
You're too stupid
this is
to watch my
completely your. This is an inner world thing for you. Only you know if you meant an apology or not. So did you? Yes or no?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, I think we've been
Harry,
over this.
I'm
I
not
feel.
moving past this. I'm
But
Good,
why not?
good.
moving
This
But
is
why not?
great.
But
This
like,
is very
you're-
funny.
You're,
This is literally
You're like
it.
make-
I'm not moving
you're making a
past
fool of
as if this
yourself,
isn't a
Aiko. You are
thing.
making a fool of
I'm
yourself. You're not allowing us
I
to
don't
hash out the
care.
other stuff.
I don't
Okay.
care, Perry. I literally don't care. This is what I,
I
do.
didn't realize it would be
I
this
don't
easy.
move
Fucking
on.
hell, man.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah. You're
I got you earlier
wishy-washy,
too. Jesus.
unserious person.
But with you, yeah. It's what
Okay,
happens when I'm
that's
talking to
fine.
an unserious person.
Shouldn't this be? I'm not the. You're not just talking to me though. You're talking to everybody. You're talking to all the viewers. So don't
any of your
answer it
viewers
to
not
me.
unserious?
Answer it. Not. I'm talking about the viewers overall.
Well, are they
What I'm saying is the
genuinely
fact that you can't even
unserious?
you can't even answer if you were genuine in what you said. You can't even say if you meant it or not.
Why do
How
I
am I
need to?
supposed to engage with someone like that? Why would I?
Why are you engaging with me anyway? You don't know what fucking
Because I told Harry that I would. He asked if I would debate you for content,
Do
and
you
I
think
said
trans
yes.
people should be happy with someone who's kind of a fetishist, expressing like kind of fetishy things in a seminar where they're teaching people about trans inclusion?
I don't know because I
Yeah, you don't know
haven't
because you
checked
don't
out the
understand the
sources.
point of my Katie Neef stuff.
Well, why don't you
I-
know Aiko? Let Aiko explain why she doesn't know.
No, I'm not moving on until she gives me a yes or no answer.
But you were just explaining.
But do you genuinely want a yes or no answer?
Mary, I believe in
What if
you.
you're
I
lying?
know you can do
What
this.
if you're lying?
I know.
What if you're lying?
That's the thing about being an honest, genuine person is that
You
it
wouldn't know
doesn't
anything
matter if
about
other
that.
people are lying.
You wouldn't know
If
anything
other
about
people
that.
are lying, your standards are for you, not for the lowest common denominator of what other people do. Or it
So
should
what?
be at least.
So what? What do I do with that?
You could answer yes or no if you meant what you said, or if you just said it to say it.
Why do you need telling whether someone means what they say? You should be able to just tell. You're an expert, right? You're a streamer.
That's
You
literally
talk for a
not
living.
how that works. That's
If you're
not
that dumb
how
that you
it
can't
works
work
at
it
all.
out, then why are you streaming?
We can
Oh wait, you've been
speculate,
doing it
and
for
I
5
have
years and you get fuck all
speculated.
views. Wow.
I have speculated
Poll
about
got
over all the
shifted.
things you say, but ultimately,
Yeah,
I would never presume that I can read your mind.
If you care about
So
transphobia,
if I did it badly,
If you care about
then you can
transphobia, talk
correct.
about that Idaho bill that just came out. That was pretty cooked. They're banning. They want trans people to go to jail for like 5 years for using a women's toilet more than once. I'm against that kind of shit. You know.
Wow, that's so cool. I don't take
Talk
anything
about real
you say
transphobia.
as
You don't
Mary.
believe her, Aiko?
Mary. We're not moving forward. I'm not letting this
No,
go
you're not moving
until.
forward. You haven't been moving forward for
Yes,
5 years.
I
That's the
literally
point.
said. You said no. You're not. I literally said I'm not moving forward, Mary.
Yeah, I know. I heard
I'm
you
not
like 2
moving
seconds
forward
ago.
with
I'm not
this.
stupid.
We can talk about all the things you want. As soon as you answer, did you mean that apology? It's very simple. If you
But what
can't be
if I-
honest about a very simple thing, why would I bother engaging in anything deeper than that?
Well, what if I just want to talk about what it means for someone to say that they're genuine about something, being that anyone can just say anything? What if I want to explore that?
I
We can talk
don't
about that.
care. I don't care about that. That's yes,
But you'll
obviously.
stay on this subject.
Obviously, you have to take information in and make your own decision about what you think. You're not giving people the opportunity to make an accurate assessment of a situation if you refuse to say what you actually mean.
That's retarded.
Why?
Because people can just fucking decide for themselves based on what I said. They don't need me to tell them. If I say I'm not lying, am I lying or am I not lying? You don't actually know, do you? So it's pretty worthless. It's
Are you
pretty
saying
worthless
okay?
to
So
ask
are you
someone if they
saying
meant
are you
something.
saying that you weren't lying when you apologized?
No,
you meant
I'm
it.
talking. Oh my god, man.
No,
I'm talking
Aiko,
more
what you're
generally.
saying is...
No, I
Aiko,
understand
it's-
what she's trying to do.
Jeez, no
I'm
wonder
not
you
gonna
failed at
play
Twitch.
that
trying to
Jesus
do.
game.
Christ.
I'm not going to play this game because
You
I
are playing
don't.
the game. That's the
I'm not
problem.
going to talk about deeper issues with you when you can't even be
Well,
honest.
that's not what she's doing. No,
about this
Aiko, that's not what's
If you don't want to play the
happening.
game, hang up.
That's not what's
I'm not
happening,
gonna
Aiko.
hang
What's
up.
happening
No,
I'll
is...
do
that'd
this
mean
for
you
as
ran.
long as it takes.
You're very sensitive about
What's
people
happening
running.
is, like, what Mary just said is...
Mary,
What Mary just
okay,
said is...
let's okay, Perry. Let's talk about that because you said that I ran, Perry. Meanwhile,
I no,
you-
no,
let me
we're not...
be honest-
this
let
is
me
not...
be clear.
Okay, whatever.
Let me
Say
be
whatever you
clear
want. Go
because
ahead.
initially
Yeah.
you gave me no notice in the first time. The second time you asked me 5 minutes in advance while I was ending stream. And so there's this whole narrative that you
Yeah, I miscommunicated.
you've been pushing
I said I
forward, Perry.
miscommunicated.
Could you maybe
I didn't...
say-
No, I said I
Yes,
miscommunicated.
Can you say that?
What do you mean?
And
I did
told
already.
you
I've already said that on
a day
stream.
and a
I
half
said that.
before to give me a time. A day and a half before she put
That
out
was
her
my day
video
off.
that I just watched. So I think it's a little bit unfair,
you
Perry, how
kinda
you've been
said-
representing. I don't care what you're saying, Mary.
You
I
kind of
don't
said
care.
that you were more
Perry, I'm
interested after my
talking to
video.
Perry. I'm sorry, what?
You kind of said that you were more interested in talking to me after the video and being like, oh, well, since you want to make a big thing about it. So it kind of sounds like you did run, to be honest. The first time, not the second
What?
time. I think the second time was a bit unfair.
No, both times I
I agree.
told
It
him
was the
to
last
set it up.
minute.
So why did you leave
I
a
love
comment
both
being like, oh, well,
times.
since you want to make such a
There
big
was
deal
there was
about
this
it.
one time, Aiko, that
What?
Mary, I called Mary, and you were in chat and said, I'm not going to talk about this trans stuff. That's the
I said
time
I
think that
didn't
people...
want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about the sports or bullshit with her, but I will. I mean, I'm here
Yeah, 'cause
for it.
trans-
So you have to,
Trans issues are
you have to
2020.
tell me. You have to answer
Stop
this
this.
question. You have to. If you can't answer a question
No,
and
not
not
right
just
now. I mean,
without,
no, you're referring to
Oh, I'm
right now. I
sorry.
meant like the first time we were meant to have this conversation. You were in chat saying, I'm not going to talk about this trans stuff while Mary was in the call. That's what people are
That's
referring
not the
to.
first
when they-
time. That's not the first
think it was
time.
the
That
first.
was
I'm
the
pretty sure it
time.
was the
No,
first.
that was the time when you said you gave me 5 minutes notice. That was the most recent time. No.
No,
And the
that-
other time,
they were- I
you've
was in the-
never
okay.
given me notice for any of it, Perry. You tell me last second, but I'm here.
So-
I'm here, and it's the morning for me. I don't stream at this time, but I do this for you, Perry.
Look, I agree. I messed up with some of the communication here. Now, I'm not sure if the timeline's getting delineated accurately, but whatever. That's fine. What I would like to...
It is,
Okay.
but okay. So
What I would like to focus on is this idea that Mary, in your video, you use this source, which is like this right-wing website or whatever. Would you not agree, Mary, that, if there is another source for this information, with regards to this cisgender person and their cross-dressing and their lectures and seminars, that you should have mentioned it in the video?
Yeah, I'll cop to that criticism. People can just like send me a message and ask, hey, where are you getting this from? Instead of being like, oh, this person's evil. Oh, I'm going to make out that they're a turf and shit like that, I think there are ways of doing
I think
it.
it's pretty obvious. Why would I ask you about it?
Why would you ask me if I'm genuine when I say something?
I don't Well, no. I
need
believe that
everything
you're
explained to you.
genuine in what you're saying when you are like talking about like calling this woman a man, an AGP, and a pedophile.
I didn't call him a pedophile.
You said that it was very weird how focused they are on young girls.
Yeah, so I didn't
You
call him a pedophile.
implied,
Thank you.
yes. Okay, I apologize. You heavily implied that they were a pedophile. So
I just don't know why like middle-aged male people are saying, oh, it's really important that other male people are able to enter the Girl Guides. Why is it important? Go in the Scouts. That's co-ed anyway. What if some of the Girl Guides aren't very...
okay.
They want their own like women's spaces, like female spaces. Like, can't they have the odd one? When the Scouts are
I don't
anyway?
know what the Girl Guides are.
Oh,
I
so
don't
you didn't
know
even,
about any of that.
Oh my god, Mate. You didn't even watch the fucking... Oh my
It
god,
doesn't
Mate.
matter.
You don't know.
This
you
is
don't
about
know.
your
You don't
video,
know.
not
You don't
about
know.
Katie
You don't
Neves.
know.
It's
Oh my
not
god.
about Kate.
Oh my god.
All right, let Aiko get a protest,
Mary.
Mary, all right? Would you shut up and let Aiko say her response?
Mary, this was never about Katie Neves. It was always about your video and your sources or lack
Which
of
was about?
sources. I'm sorry,
Which was
what'd you say?
about?
Your video?
Which was about?
Your video, it was about this trans activist that
What
you
Katie Neves, who
hate.
it's not about, apparently.
Wait, what? Wait, what are you trying to say?
Well, no, Mary Chu is saying Aiko, that you're saying it's all about Katie Neves, but the video is about Katie Neves, you know?
Oh yeah, no, it's about her how she engages with this. It could be about someone else.
Yeah, I was
Katie Neves
mean.
could turn out to be a pedophile, and I would be like, I'd throw my hands up and be like, well, I guess that is a bad one. That would be fine, but I would never take Mary as a source, considering what her standards are.
You don't know what my standards are.
I'm witnessing them.
Well, not
I'm
really.
looking at
There's
this
additional
essay,
evidence out
and I'm
there.
seeing
There's
you
one video.
talk about.
Are my standards always like that, or is that one video? You don't know. So why are you saying general things about one video?
I mean, are you saying that this is just a shitty video that's embarrassing to have up?
No, I never remember saying that.
Well,
Why
do
do
you
you
say that
change
this is
everything? Why do you change
reflects?
everything to the worst
What do you
version
mean
of
change
itself?
everything?
You're a liar. You just make things up about people. You're actually full of
Okay.
shit.
Okay. And
And you don't even
Mary,
understand the
so
point
you-
of my video. You don't understand my point about representation.
I think that you made that video. You picked someone, and you were like, and
I
you
didn't pick
enjoyed
anyone.
yourself and calling.
Well, let Aiko explain what
you
she thinks happens, Mary.
You literally selected a person. So I mean, when I
Well,
say
I
picked,
literally
you
did it.
did select a person.
Oh, if I literally did it, it must be true. Fair enough. Go ahead.
Aiko, explain
Do you
what you
not
think the
know what
process for that
picking
video
means?
was. Like you're
I'm sorry,
saying,
what,
Aiko,
Mary?
what are you saying that Mary was trying to do with that video? You're explaining, you were going on a monologue. You're saying that Mary picked that person, and then what?
So what she did is from the video, what I saw in the video, she showed this source, or this essay, didn't show where the essay was from, but read it as if it was factual, talked about how like, oh, this is disgusting and terrible, not providing any extra context or information that would back that up. Like looking, it would be one thing if it was like a source that was even a little bit more of a facade of credible. But this is so on its face, complete fan fiction.
But it's not fan
with-
fiction.
with-
This shit happened. I've seen it. I watched the fucking clips, man.
You know what
just
fan
don't know.
fiction is?
You just
You know
don't
what
know.
fan
You
fiction
just
is?
don't know.
Saying that
explain fan
someone is
fiction to me.
gooning, saying that someone is aroused and licking their lips and being
How would you
like
describe
a
arousal?
freak.
What's a feeling of arousal like? Would it be like sort of
I want to
a bit of
know
guilt?
where does this
Like,
information?
It feels right. It feels wrong. It feels a bit dirty, a bit naughty. That could
These
be, that
things
could be arousal.
absolutely can exist. This story, this
So then they
thing,
described
it
arousal,
could be
'cause I've seen
true
the
about
video.
someone. It could be true about someone, but this is not a source.
We've
this
gone
is not a
round and
source.
round
this
on
is
this. This is the most lame fucking point ever. Okay, I
okay.
could have
That's fine.
presented
So
more
let's go
evidence.
back to
Wow, okay, I
did you
already
mean your
copped to that. I already
apology to
copped that as
Femyaz or not?
boring.
Did you mean your apology to Femyaz or not?
Did you mean to ask me that question in good
Come on.
faith?
Okay.
Are you being genuine or are you not
I-
being genuine? Because I can't tell. I need you to
I'm
spell it out for
genuinely
me.
asking. I'm genuinely. I don't know what you mean
How do
by
I know
good
you're
faith.
genuinely asking? What if you say you're genuinely asking,
It
but you're not?
shouldn't.
What if I
Actually,
say
it
I
shouldn't-
genuinely
it
meant my
shouldn't-
apology, but
let
actually
me respond to you. Let me respond to you.
Go on, then.
I think that when you talk to someone and they ask you a question, it doesn't matter if they are genuine. You should be able to answer that question.
In general, yes. What if I
Yes.
have
Yes.
some clarifying questions that I want to ask first that it would inform my answer?
Okay. So ask me any clarifying questions you need in order to answer if you meant the apology or not.
What if I said I meant it, but actually I didn't mean it?
Then you'd be lying.
What if I said I didn't mean it, but actually I did mean it?
Then that would also be lying. That
So I
would be a
could just
weird
be lying
lie, but
whatever I
okay.
say, so what does it matter what I respond with? Why don't you just make
Anyone
your own
could be
decision?
lying. Anyone could be lying. What I want is for you to make a statement, commit to a statement,
What statement? What do you want me to say?
which is, did you mean, I want you to say, yes or no, did you mean your apology to Femyaz on President Sunday stream? Did you mean it, yes or no?
Why do you need me to tell you whether I mean something or not?
Because we're in public and everyone's
not in
watching,
public.
and I think that it's important.
Everyone is like
Okay,
20
we're
people,
online.
probably.
We're online.
70.
People are watching, okay?
Oh, yeah,
And
no,
this
Parry
is
is an
it's
actual
on
audience,
public
if you want
record.
people.
I want to know. I want you to give a direct answer
Why?
because this is what we do.
This is what we do. What does that mean? Isn't that a Katy Perry song or something?
I have no idea.
Well-
I don't listen to Katy Perry.
Me neither. I've just heard that song before.
But what I'm saying is that we, when we do these things, it's on the record. It's on the timeline of things that have happened. And right now on the timeline, you are here. We are here together. We are talking about something that happened just yesterday, and you cannot answer yes or no
Well, yeah, because I'm very
if you meant
suspicious about
something
your
you said.
motives. Why are you so
It
invested in
doesn't
me saying
matter
yes or
what
no?
my motives are.
Yes, it does.
I just want you to respond.
Yeah, but I'm suspicious
it a
about your motives, trying to strong arm me into saying something. I don't know.
Then give me an answer that you think is. I mean, like,
I've
just
already
give me
answered
an. You literally haven't. You said maybe.
No, I have. I just haven't given you an
It's
answer
an
that you
answer.
want. You laid out two options. And I
Just
gave you
not a
that.
yes or no
yes
answer.
or
That's my
no.
choice.
It is a yes or no, right, Parry? It's a yes or no answer, right?
Right. Well, you want a yes or no answer. They have answered the question just on a satisfactory way to your
Parry,
standards.
This is
So I just
Parry.
What?
I asked
What?
a yes or no question, right?
Well, what?
I asked
We're
a yes
getting
or no
into
question.
a.
There is an answer. This is not a nuanced thing. This is you said something. Did you mean
Oh, this is
what
like
you said
a-
yesterday? Yes or no? It shouldn't be this hard. We shouldn't be stuck on this.
This is like
It
a
should have been,
philosophical
like-
question
And move
about
on.
what it
It's
means
not
to answer a question.
philosophical question.
It is because you're
He's
asking me,
making it
Parry. They said
philosophical.
maybe. Does that count as a response? And the answer is
No,
kind
it
of, but obviously it's not a
doesn't. It's not an
satisfactory response.
answer. It's
Well,
not an
it's an
answer.
unsatisfactory.
It's
It
not
is an
an
answer, but not a
answer, Parry.
satisfactory answer.
Parry,
It's an
it's
unsatisfactory
not
answer.
an answer.
So not an answer you want, and I agree with that. And I would love if Mary Jo gave you an answer that you would want. However,
No.
it seems
An
very.
answer, not what I want, but just people want to know in general. You said
Who's
it. I'm sure
people?
everyone that was watching Sunday's stream wants to know too.
No,
Everyone
they
that's
just
going to
watched
watch
and
it in the future.
intuited.
So I want to know. I'm sure anyone interested wants to know. Ignore me. Answer to the good faith people out there. Did you mean your apology? Yes or no?
Okay,
Forget that
can an
I'm
actual
even
good
here.
faith person ask me that question then?
Perry, can you ask that in good faith?
Parry's not
Yeah,
good faith.
so
he
yeah,
doesn't
that's
count.
a president. Oh,
He's not good faith?
yeah. That's fucked
What
up.
do you need then? What do you need? Do you need to be like romanced into this? Do you
No, I
need
just want
like
you to explain.
flowers
I just want you
and
to explain why you're so invested in this particularly. You really want me
Because
to
you-
give you a certain
because
answer.
no, because you won't answer, and that proves my point about you.
Proves what?
That you are vague, that you
No,
don't
I'm
stand
taking
on
the piss
business.
out of you. I'm not normally like this.
That's what you.
You're not
that's
getting
what
my
you
normal
say.
personality,
That's
'cause
a
you don't deserve
very
it.
interesting cope to have right now. Oh, I
Yeah,
think
it's a
just
cope. Okay. Why don't you change the title
It's
again?
obviously-
To,
I
oh,
can
Mary
answer
Jo ran.
any question
to be
that you
fair.
ask me.
You're very gullible
What? Why?
because you
Tell me
fell for
why.
it earlier.
I fell for what?
You
Well-
thought I ran and you changed the fucking stream title.
You said that you were, because you said you weren't showing up, and
You
that wasn't
autistic?
surprising. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Are you? Aren't you?
A little bit. I'm not
Okay.
surprised.
I was recently tested, so no, but I don't know why an autistic person.
Yeah, on
would
this
say that to
topic
me.
of
They just take things
autism,
very
on this topic of
literally, that's all.
autism, Mary,
You need to
I
be
would like
actually
to ask you,
told
Mary.
things.
You seem to have had a lot of personal insults towards Aiko, like you were making fun of them for being a titty streamer. You
That's
said
not
that they
making fun,
do
that's a
weed in
statement
order
of
to.
fact.
Right, you
You
were
said
saying
I'm a
that they do
TERF.
weeds to manage their psychosis. You
Yeah.
said what has Aiko done to you that you feel justified about that? And then you said it was wrong of them
Made like
to make fun
several
of someone's
10-hour
dead mother.
streams obsessing over me.
It was fun, to be completely honest.
Yeah, you really sound
so.
like you're having fun with this.
The only other person who's ever called me a titty streamer was Soul Skibbity.
Who's
So
that?
that's interesting.
Who's that?
Just
He's like a
some
nobody.
guy.
Just
Just
He's a
some
ghost
guy.
cat,
Okay, so why do I
lover
care?
boy.
People are typically very confused by that, but I don't. If that's what you want to call me, that's fine.
Cool,
I don't
thank
care.
you. I'm
You
glad I have
have
your
this thing
approval.
about you have a weird obsession with my voice, though. I know you thought
I'm not
that I was
obsessed.
using a
That
voice
is true.
changer.
I just
to
heard
make
You
little
didn't say
clips
it was
where
a
I
fake
think-
higher.
voice.
You thought I was
Do you
making
believe
my
that this is a
voice
fake voice
higher?
right now, Mary? Do you believe that Aiko right now is using a fake voice?
I don't know for sure. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong about
if
that
you-
because it's a fucking stupid point. Who cares? But they
Then
talk
why
shit
are you
about me all the
harping on
time,
it?
so I'll talk shit back.
Why'd
That's
you
fine.
harp on it then? Why do you say after that I've been obviously doing voice training?
Because what I thought would happen is if I went on about it a little bit and we finally spoke, that you'd get like triggered over it, and you have done. So thank you.
I literally don't listen. None
You
of
don't
this
care. I
stuff
know you don't
triggers
care.
me.
Sorry, you're cool, calm, and collected.
No,
I do
I-
apologize.
This is
No, I misrepresented you.
what
That's fine.
I want.
apologize.
I want a direct answer from you about something you said, and you're deflecting it to all these different things. You can call me a titty streamer. You can say that I cried about chicken and waffles. You
Well,
can
you did.
say
You were
that
on
I
stream
send
doing it.
Oreo lots of DMs. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. I don't care what you think of me. I just want an answer from you, a genuine, on the record answer of if you meant your apology or not.
How do you know whether I'd be genuine if I answered?
I can't. I can only take you at your word, just
There you
like
go.
everyone
Anyone
else.
could just say anything.
Just like everyone else. So in the future, it's on the record. That's how
But
it
why
works.
is it
We go
then,
back, we
Aiko-
pull up clips.
Why would I need it to be on record as to whether I was being genuine or
You
not?
don't
Why would
need
I
it
care
on
about that?
record, but the people, since you
Why
have
is
done
it
this, you
Aiko?
took it upon yourself to do this. No one forced you to do anything. So I'm just asking if you meant what you did, what you said, and you won't answer, and that's very sketchy.
Yeah, I think it's very sketchy to try and press someone on something that you can just intuit from watching it, to be honest. I'm
You
suspicious of your
can't
motives,
intuit.
so I'm
You can
I'm asking further
intuit
questions.
things when you can intuit to a certain degree, but when you are right in front of a person and you are asking them about a public statement that they made yesterday, why would you ever say that this is something that I have to intuit? That's very suspicious.
Well, you managed to intuit that I'm a TERF, even though that's literally not correct. And anyone that actually listens to my takes, I tell you what you should do: just
it
actually
true,
listen to
Aiko?
a
Did
stream
you
and
call
shut the
Mary
fuck
a
up
TERF?
and just listen. Actually listen
I
to my
think
Was there a
you're
voice.
reason you
TERF.
called?
Or watch
Yeah,
more videos.
absolutely.
Watch more videos. Watch me.
What
Watch
were
me watch
the-
a trans
I don't
person.
care. I
Wait,
don't
what were the TERF
care,
takes?
Mary.
What were the
I
TERF
don't
takes,
care.
Aiko? It's fair enough you don't care.
Okay.
But from what you saw, what were the TERF takes then? Like,
We're
it's fine. You don't have to watch every Mary video.
Perry. I'm not.
Yeah?
We will answer this stuff after she responds. I'm not
Running.
getting sucked into moving forward. I just need an answer because what the
never been
fuck is the
sucked into
point
moving forward,
of
that's the problem.
engaging with someone? What is the point of engaging with someone on more serious topics when they can't even answer if they meant what they said yesterday?
This is just code.
Why
You
would
don't
I
wanna
take
talk about
anything she
serious
says
issues.
seriously? I mean, with you, not really. I don't respect you.
Likewise.
I'm just here because of Perry. Yeah,
Likewise,
that's fine. I know you
likewise.
didn't want to do this. I know
Well,
you
then the
didn't want
point
to
would
do this.
be
We just
that
do
would
this
help
for
me out,
Perry.
Psycho.
No,
I
I just think
understand.
you're a
points.
woke transphobe fake ally, and I don't really care what you think.
That's fine.
You can call me anything.
I also don't care.
You hate trans
Yeah,
people.
that's fine.
Well,
You're a
by your own
trans
logic,
That's what you want
Aiko,
to
can we...
think.
Well, I do think that.
Yeah, sure.
It's very
Go
obvious
ahead.
to me. When you're actually trans, you know this shit. Trust me.
By your own logic, Aiko, can we move
yeah,
forward
sure.
for my sake? For my sake, can we move
No,
forward
Perry.
then?
No, we're not.
Well,
we're not.
you're here,
I'm not
so
gonna
you're
answer
here
you.
for
Then
my
make
sake.
her
So
answer.
move
Then
forward.
Make me
have her
answer. Make
Perry.
me answer.
If you want to move on, get her to give an answer.
Yeah,
It's
make
yes
me.
or no. It's very simple.
I don't...
There
Make
you
me
go.
Parry.
I'll next time I'm in London, I'm going to like physically to force very true to give an answer. But I can't do that right now. I'm not in London.
How are you going to physically
No,
force
but,
me? Have
but
you
do
got
you
a gun or something?
understand? Do you understand though why I
Knife.
wouldn't want to engage in topics with you when you won't even give a straight answer about something you've already said?
No, I think that you're susceptible to being trolled, to be honest.
This is trolling. You think
I don't
this
know,
is troll?
is it?
You're going. Is that the narrative
You
you're
need me to
going
explain
with?
that now?
Since you can't speak plainly,
I can't speak
that's
plainly.
what
Well,
this is.
am I incapable of speaking plainly, or do I just not feel obliged to speak plainly to you because you did multiple like weird streams on me and said all kinds of weird shit about me that's not true?
People want to know, not just me.
Okay, then they can ask me.
Okay, Perry doesn't count as asking you.
Well, does Perry really care?
This is all immense cope. This is absolute.
Does Perry
this is
really care
shameful
whether I'm
cope.
being genuine or not when I say something about?
I don't think so. Obviously
Then
he
he's not good
doesn't.
faith,
But I'm
then
the
he's not a
only
good
one
person to ask that
here.
question.
I care, and I'm the only
now
one
you
here.
care.
But there are other people that care. I care
Then they
about
can
you
ask me.
answering my question. Yes
I'll
or
be genuine
no?
with them. I just don't feel obliged to be genuine to you because you're listening.
Do I?
Like,
do
I'd say
I
if you,
have to?
it's
I'll
very
fucking
clear.
Find someone to bring on.
Why don't you call me a
to
turf
ask
another
her that
100
question.
times without explanation?
I think you do have turf takes.
I have the odd thing I agree with turfs on. I think beforehand
Okay,
there was
which
a lot
I think
more.
is I think is weird.
Why is that weird?
But
Hitler
that's
drank
fine.
water.
Well, what's an example of a turf
So
take
why
you'd
are
agree
you
with
finding
Mary?
commonalities with Hitler?
I'm not finding commonalities with Hitler. I agree with turfs on some things.
You compared turfs to Hitler.
No, do you not
That's
know
all
what
that
Hitler drank
happens.
water means?
No?
Fuck me, dude.
It's
No, I don't know that.
so
that
Aiko.
phrase.
What's
I don't know that.
Mary's point here, Aiko, is that
Twitch
just because you share some similarities with a person or a group doesn't mean that you agree with everything they do. Like in the same way that Hitler drank
obviously.
water, but you also drink water. Mary might have some similar agreements with TERFs, but doesn't mean that she identifies or agrees with everything that TERFs say or do.
I think that if you agree with turfs on trans issues, then isn't that fundamentally turf beliefs?
No, that's black and white thinking,
No?
which is why I asked if you're autistic. This actually requires
Okay.
a great deal of nuance to understand the right way forward.
Wow.
I'm a trans person trying to see the nuance in there. Some things are right on one side, some things are right on the other side.
For
I
me,
think
it
there needs
looks
to be
like
some
you
kind of
enjoy
compromise.
tearing
explained all
down
this.
other trans people unless they're rapists
Tearing down
and
trans- like-
abusers.
What are you talking about? I disagree with people, so I
I
express
mean,
it.
you find the worst one. You find the most AGP argument for AGP. If there's anyone with a case for being called AGP, it'd be Firebat. So you find the freak and you befriend them
I didn't befriend
instead of.
Firebat.
You literally did. You sent secret DMs begging
Secret?
her
They weren't
to
secret.
not.
They were anything but secret. They've been everywhere now.
You begged for them multiple times to not share this at
Yeah, I
the
wonder
beginning
what
and at the
Firebat's
end
gonna
because
do.
you are
I
stupid
wonder
enough
what-
to think that. I know that
I
you were
wonder
going
what
to go
Firebat's
down
gonna
this
do if you say, "Please
narrative.
don't leak it."
We
Wow.
called this already, but I listened to the whole thing, even the parts that weren't in the screenshots, okay? I saw everything you said,
Yeah.
and that is cope. You did not, this was clearly not something you thought would be leaked, and now you're just trying to giga chat it, but it's
Okay,
not
so
working.
you can't intuit
No
whether
one
someone
buys
means
it.
when they say something, but you can intuit that there's no way that I could have known that Firebat, who has leaked shit previously, would leak shit again. Okay, sure. You can think what you want, mate. I don't care.
You should have known.
You think you think that
would
if anyone
think.
agrees with a TERF on anything to do with trans,
So-
then they're evil. So I don't know, man.
I didn't say that they're evil.
What are you saying then?
They said that they were a TERF. They were saying you were a TERF for
Yeah, turf.
doing
So
that.
if you think turfs are evil, then you would think that it's evil. But if you
No,
don't
it's
think
not
turfs
evil
are
to
evil,
agree on the odd thing. That's what Hitler drank water means.
What's an
Fuck
example,
me, man.
Mary? Of
You're from
something you
Twitch,
agree
Paul.
with
How do you
TERFs
not know
on?
this shit? Sorry.
listen.
No, what was Harry
listen.
saying? I want to hear
I know
Harry.
that this is.
What's an
so-
example, Mary?
Go ahead.
Of something you agree with TERFs on, like with regards to trans stuff, obviously. What's something you agree with TERFs on?
I think that some women's spaces should be female only, such as prisons.
What are your thoughts on that, Aiko?
I think that prisons should be safe and there shouldn't be rape in them in general. I think you should not be going to a prison with the expectation that you'll be assaulted. I know that's the case. I don't have an answer for prisons. I think the prison system is fucked overall.
Okay.
And I
So
guess
it's
it
okay
depends
for me
on the
to agree with that
person.
TERF take, then.
Hmm?
It's okay for me to agree with that TERF take then. It's not like you have a better answer. You're saying you don't really know, which is fine,
That's
by
not
the way.
prisons is different. Prisons is not a it's like, for instance, like
Oh, so
something
if
like
you
a
share a
bastard. Like
TERF
you're
take, it
talking about
depends.
criminals.
I agree
Right,
with
right.
that.
So-
Prison, you're talking about potentially violent criminals. That would have to be like I'm unsure what the circumstances is, and I'm not going to say that I know what's right to do when I don't know how it even functions.
So do you think therefore that trans women in general, I think we should try and treat trans women like women in society. It seems to help them. Do you agree that there are
Yeah.
certain things, there are certain areas of society where maybe they do actually have to be treated as males according to their sex rather than their gender, even if very specific things like prisons?
Like, give me another example of
So
something.
prisons or like rape shelters or something like that. Places where
Rape shelters?
Or
No.
women's
Why?
sports.
Why
Women's
a rape
shelters.
shelter? If you are a rape
Like abuse
victim,
shelters. Hmm.
like what? If you're raped and you're a trans woman, you can't go to the same rape shelter for women. I think that's ridiculous.
why? What if they resemble a man? What if that
Why-
re-traumatizes
yeah.
a woman? Why can't they make alternative arrangements for the
These
male
are people who need. These are just people who need support.
Where do men go?
I don't. If it's there's probably a men's support. I don't
Sometimes
know
there's
what the
not.
network is in different. Sometimes there's not.
Sometimes there's
Well, then-
only facilities for DV or rape for women because of the statistics. So occasionally you'll get
Okay.
someone that can't go to the women's. They still need help. And in the UK, certainly, like say DV shelters, because I looked at this semi-recently. Sometimes there are only facilities for women. That doesn't mean you should let trans women in, and legally, they need to be provided something regardless.
Mm-hmm. So what do they do for men?
They have to find another solution. Maybe if it's DV, maybe they put them up in a hotel or something like that. Find somewhere for that person to go that they'll be safe. They just can't go in with the women because that might re-traumatize women. And re-traumatizing
What,
someone
like
is
you
the
mean
last thing
like
you wanna
like
do.
in a living situation, like going to stay
Like in a
somewhere?
shelter.
Well, we're talking about DV
Yeah,
shelters.
like a shelter would be somewhere that you would like stay for an extended period of time while you're in between, solving the situation. So what
Trans
Merichu was saying
women,
is that
I think absolutely are. There's no reason why trans women shouldn't be able to be a part of that. If they
What if they
reject
resemble a
men
man?
overall, then I'm sorry.
What if they resemble a man and it re-traumatizes a woman who needs to be kept away from all men right now?
If they resemble a man,
Yes.
I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it means
It
they're
means
Resembling,
exactly what you
Walkable.
think it means. It means they resemble a man.
but
Yeah,
to
it means
what
that, like, when-
extent?
It's when the woman
To enough
in
of
the
an
DV
extent you look
shelter
at them
would
and
see
like that's a
them.
man.
No, I'm sorry. What? Say that again. Perry was talking.
Right, go ahead, Mary.
Oh, resembling a man to the point where you look at them and say that's a man.
I mean, if it's just someone that doesn't even claim that they're a woman, they just
No,
walk in, they just say
So we're talking about a trans woman. So
a
like
trans woman just looking like a man with a beard, walking in saying,
Right.
"I'm a woman. Let me be with the raped women."
But what if they're genuinely trans-identified? They just don't resemble a woman.
That's fine. I literally don't know. I don't know what
That's
the
fine.
facilities are set up. Do they have are they sharing all of these spaces?
Well,
I
then-
have no idea.
Well, then the point is, occasionally we can't really just treat everyone as per
Okay,
their
what about
stated
trans
gender.
men? Do you think trans men should be able to go to those rape shelters?
If there's a chance they might re-traumatize someone, potentially not.
Okay.
I don't think passing trans men should use women's toilets because it'll potentially
Then
make
that's
women
not
uncomfortable.
sex based. That's gender based.
That's different.
That's division of gender.
Yeah, but we take things in different. Like, I specifically said trans women for a reason. I think that there are certain areas where trans women, for the vast majority of cases in the vast majority of areas of society, I think we can treat trans women like women, and that's absolutely fine. I think there are specific things where you kind of have to go by sex. I think sometimes one matters more and sometimes the other matters more. For sports, for example, I think that should be sex-based.
Like I said, I don't know about sports. I don't care about sports. I don't think
Yeah, so
obviously
it's okay
sports
then
aren't
if
fair,
I-
and I don't know how you would. I have no idea what this. They could potentially reconfigure things based on physicality, but I have no idea. It's not my. I'm not going to say what someone should do when I don't
Yeah.
know anything about that
So
entire
it's okay.
thing.
So it's okay, therefore, then to agree with TERFs on that specific point, then, because you don't really have an answer yourself, which again is fine. You know,
I don't
respect
have an
people saying,
answer.
"I don't
It's
know."
not the difference that it's not that I don't think that it needs to be separated by the sexes. I don't
So you do have an
think I
answer.
wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think that should be the default.
Why?
I think that's how it is, and I think
It is
there's
now,
different. The difference is between like what would be ideal versus what things are now and where to move towards. I don't know where someone could move towards in the sports field. I don't know I don't know anything about sports, but what I'm saying
Why
is
do you think it shouldn't be
fundamentally from a
sex-based?
moral perspective, I don't think that it should be based on just biological sex.
Isn't it immoral
There-
for a male person to enter a women's sport and win everything when they could have been in the men's sports? Isn't that immoral?
I don't think that's a regular problem.
It doesn't matter whether it's a regular problem. We're talking about like what is moral. We're talking about conceptual shit now.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm not certain about
stating
that kind of stuff.
positions, and then when I try and get into
My
it, you're saying,
position-
actually, well, I don't know, and I don't care. You know,
Because I'm not going to, like I already said, I don't know
And what's wrong
anything
with my
about
take that
sports,
it
and
should
I'm not
be-
going to claim.
so why shouldn't it be sex-based then?
Well, I'm thinking more, okay, bathroom stuff. I saw you talk about bathroom stuff with Katie Neves. So you were saying that, okay, so from what I saw there, it is now a thing that even private bathrooms, you have to use the one that goes with your sex at birth, right?
Not
I
in the
think
UK.
that's what's happening. I thought that was like a new
No,
thing
what
that was
happened
being
in
rolled
the UK
out.
was there was a Supreme Court decision that clarified the Equality Act that meant that when they say woman, what they mean is a adult human female. There's not been any guidance. There's no rules about using specific bathrooms. It's down to it's a trespass thing. It's a civil matter. It's down to the person that owns it. So if a business owner
Okay.
says, I want trans people in my women's bathroom, then that's their choice. It's just that a woman could complain and potentially get some kind of legal action because they're not guaranteed a single sex space where lawfully they probably should be.
Okay, I'm uncertain. Like I said, I don't live in the UK. I'm uncertain about. I recently saw someone talk about that. But I can't commit to that. But do you think? Okay, so what do you think that people ought to do when it comes to bathrooms then?
I think people should be aware of how they look. I think people should, as much as possible, go in the bathroom that they resemble the best. I think that a passing trans man would probably make women uncomfortable. I think that a passing trans woman, they're not going to cause any kind of harm. And the main kind of harm I'm really worried about is like discomfort. Because assaults and stuff are extremely rare, you know?
Okay, so what about public bathrooms? Public bathrooms you have to use based on sex, right?
No, I have exactly the same take. I thought I was answering that question, to be honest.
Oh, but okay, but the laws
There's no laws.
there's
it's
no laws?
trespass. It's a civil matter.
It's trespass. Okay, but that's the rule though.
No,
Even if you aren't going to be like criminally liable, it's a rule, right?
there's no rule about it, no. It's just that one says women and
No.
one
It
says
would be
men.
it would be a harassment case, like Mary mentioned earlier, right?
Trespass.
Yeah, trespass. Yeah.
It's a civil matter. It's not legal.
Okay, so people can sue a business then if if someone who doesn't quite pass enough, I guess, if someone uses a bathroom and
No.
someone else thinks that they don't pass enough.
No. What can happen is, if a male person is using a woman's restroom or bathroom, whatever, and a woman isn't happy about that because they're not being guaranteed their single-sex space, which they ought to have the right to per the law, they can raise a legal case about it. What would probably happen is they'd have to have talked to like the business first and actually, made some kind of effort to see if they're enforcing this kind of thing or not. So if you just go and complain because you saw what you think is a trans person, it probably won't get you very far.
Okay, but fundamentally though, that could be the case. If someone could be passing enough. Okay, so like first, like you, when you go out into the world, when you use bathrooms, what are your considerations? Do you feel like you're safe to go into the women's bathroom?
No,
Are you ever concerned about that?
I don't use women's spaces anymore. I used to.
Okay, and you feel safe in men's spaces?
The specific ones I use, yes. I don't really use like public facilities. Like there's a couple of places we go out to, and it's like the bathroom's always empty and stuff, so it's fine.
Okay, so you're bending your life in order to not get in trouble for
No, not
using the
really.
bathroom.
It's not inconvenient.
I mean,
to me
you
whatsoever.
are. Yeah, to you, it's not inconvenient to you,
Yeah,
but
and it's my
you're
choice
in
how I
a
do it.
specific situation. Yeah, exactly. So, but for other people out there that don't have as many options, that
that
are in different that don't have the same kind, like that live in a more like conservative place where people actually care about it a lot more. People who, I guess it depends on a circumstance where you don't have like reliable places you can go and use the bathroom. Like if you didn't have anywhere safe, like if you didn't feel comfortable in any particular business to use the bathroom, what would you do? If you went to a new place, you went to a town you don't know anywhere. I'm sorry?
Pee first and then go out.
And if you have to pee again,
then I'd go
are
find
you gonna pee outside?
There's plenty
You're
of
gonna pee in the bushes?
there's plenty of places that have like gender neutral toilets. If I have to risk it in the men's, I mean, whether I feel safe or not is neither here nor there. That's how I feel.
It does, because that's really what my overall point is. I think that people should use the bathrooms that they feel like, you know, if you're trans, if you feel like more safe, like it works, like
male people,
you know,
should
more comfortable.
hide in the women's if they're unsafe, and it doesn't matter if the women feel unsafe with those people being in there.
There's never been a circumstance when, if you're just a regular person, you're not a fucking predator, you're just a regular trans person, regular trans woman going into the bathroom, there's never been a fucking problem with it. That was coming from them.
There's never been, what do you mean that's never been a problem?
That's not a fundamental problem.
Well, you should talk to more women about that, because I'm not a woman, ultimately. There are women that are uncomfortable with it.
I'm a woman, and those people,
Allegedly.
it doesn't. Oh yeah, you've been investigating me.
It's called a joke. Carry on.
I see.
All right.
I
Okay.
see. So funny. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that it's not you don't need to be riding for female only spaces. Okay? We don't
Why don't I need
you to defend us.
Well, in terms of
I'm not defending
bathrooms,
you, I'm giving my
earlier-
opinions.
But Aiko, earlier you mentioned that you understand it in terms of like prisons and such, right? So you mean like in general?
What? Wait, in general, what?
Because when you say
When it
you
comes to
married
bathrooms,
to,
I think that married she should be able to pee in women's rooms and it not be a problem. I think that she should be able to pee in any woman's room she wants.
Why does it matter?
Because what if you have to pee in the bushes? That's a crime. You
Why
can
is
get
it
arrested.
women's or bushes?
I mean, you can use the men's room. You were saying that you mostly pee in safe places that you know that are okay or that have gender neutral bathrooms. You have a mapped out for you. You know,
No.
you have your routine.
You
okay?
read
have your
so
routine.
much into what I say. I'm just saying, I only ever really go out to certain places. That's just happenstance. That's not me thinking in advance. If I have to use a men's toilet, I use a men's toilet. I just get on with it. Someone might look at me funny.
Okay.
Someone might be like, what are you doing there? Okay, I'm male, you know. Very simple. It's not difficult.
Don't you think that could be dangerous for some people in a less
Not really.
I don't want to say
Toilet
accepting,
incidents
but
are like exceptionally rare. That goes for everyone. That goes for trans people when people pretend that we're like raping people left, right, and center in toilets. That goes for like men's rooms, where we think that any trans woman that sets foot anywhere near a man's toilet is going to get the shit kicked out of them. It's exaggerated on both sides. It's just not as much of a problem as we think. And I wouldn't
be comfortable going in the men's room.
Sorry?
I wouldn't feel comfortable going into a public men's room.
You ever been to a place where the women's fucking queue is like 10 times as long?
Oh, well, yes, obviously that. But
Exactly.
there are people around. If there are any predators around, like it will be very obvious. You know, if it's a crowded situation. But if there's not that many people, if you go in, you know, when you strategize for safety, like I
don't strategize, to be clear. I don't think anyone needs to.
You don't strategize to be safe?
No, I don't need
Well,
to.
then
I just go around, I be myself. I don't get shit anymore. People are way less transphobic in the street to me than they used to. It's because there's more trans people around, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you have a better experience then.
Yeah. I think lots of people
yeah.
don't have as bad experiences as they're saying. I think lots of people internalize all this like governmental shit where there's this, that, and the other going on and these debates going on. But actually in their communities and shit, I think most of them get on okay. I'm not saying nothing happens.
Okay. So you just think
act
that
like
they're
trans
making
people,
it...
if they go out of their houses, they're going to get like stabbed and stuff. Like it certainly isn't the case here. Very much doubt that's the case in like the US.
No. That's not. No one's talking about being stabbed or anything. It's just putting yourself in circumstances that are not going to necessarily be as safe for you.
Well, what am I doing
It's
that's
like,
not going
I
to be as
think-
safe for me? And why is
Not-
it my
not you,
safety
other
purely
people,
that matters?
I'm talking about other trans
Should those
women
other people
and their
disregard
safety.
women's feelings of safety by using their bathrooms when they don't pass?
I think that women who are afraid of trans women just being around them, I think that they need to be exposed to more people who are just normal people who
I
are
think you need
trans
to be
and not have
exposed
it
to
be
more people with
fear-mongered about.
gender-critical beliefs and actually talk to them, because I don't think you understand
don't
them.
care.
You don't care?
I don't care. I
Then
don't
don't talk about
understand
this
gender
issue because you
critical
don't care about
people.
both sides.
Well,
I,
Aiko, couldn't
No one asked you to. You're not
apply
even
the same
trans.
logic?
I disagree. Wait, go ahead, Perry.
Aiko, couldn't you apply the same logic to trans people then? If you're saying that like women that are afraid of the trans women, they just need to get out more and experience stuff. Couldn't you apply it to trans women that are afraid that they just need to go out and experience stuff more to realize it's not as big of a deal?
It can be absolutely a big deal. I mean,
Right, but why not for the women then?
The difference between like discomfort that a woman could feel if they're not used to seeing any trans women around is not the same kind of like potential danger. Like me being 5 foot, like walking around New York City by myself at all hours of the night, all over the place. I have to strategize for where I'm going to be around people, being aware of not putting myself in situations to the best of my ability where I'd be like more vulnerable. And so I think that a lot of people do have to strategize in that way. And like I don't want to bring up Femyaz, but when you were talking about her going like boy mode and people should just be like full time and put themselves out there no matter what. Like I think that every individual person has to look out for their own safety. And the fact is that these trans women may be making a woman feel uncomfortable by being seen aren't a threat in the way that the people around that person would potentially pose to them.
Those women don't know that. Like, say you have like trauma, say you were physically assaulted in a bathroom or something by a male person. You're in another bathroom,
Well,
you see
then
a male
they really
person come in, it
should
might
go
just
to
set
therapy.
feelings off.
Go to therapy. I don't
You
think
have no
people's
empathy,
rights
do
should
you?
be based
You have no
on.
empathy.
You
should talk to other women about this.
You could say
Talk to
that.
some women
You
who are
could say that.
uncomfortable about this kind of thing. Actually understand how people feel. It's
Yeah,
so
no,
cringe.
yes,
I'm
no,
not
I
even
do.
female and
I
I get it.
understand, and I disagree. Yes, I understand. And
Apparently not.
I disagree.
Apparently not.
We fundamentally disagree, and that's fine.
But why is it that you disagree, Aiko? Is
Why
there
is that I disagree with what?
the way that women feel, I guess, in this case, the fear that women would feel?
I think that it comes from ignorance. I grew up in like an evangelical bubble for the first 15 years of my life. I didn't know anything about anything. And so discovering the world where I was told these people are going to hell and they're wrong and fundamentally what they do is evil, and trying, like, it never made sense to me. So I had to kind of deconstruct all of the things that I was told. And like I've come to conclusions myself that are my personal opinion. And yeah, that's why I'm at where I'm at. I think
you need to talk to women that disagree with you. I think you should actually have these kind of conversations and stop writing them off as bigots or ignorant or whatever. Because I think you're ignorant of some of their experiences.
I think it is. No, I think it is ignorant because
then talk to some of those people about
don't you think that if these women were more used to like trans women just being around, being people, being like regular women around them, that maybe it wouldn't be as much of a problem.
That's not
maybe
bearing
they wouldn't
out.
be scared. Why not?
Because we keep hearing about these like extremely male-looking like trans people using certain spaces they probably shouldn't be, and women getting uncomfortable about it. There's more trans people than ever.
Outliers, potentially. How many people?
You're
how much does this
hand-waving what I'm
happen?
saying. Just anything that I say, you just get to hand wave. You need to talk to other women about this kind of stuff.
To be fair, Mary, earlier, weren't you saying that bathroom incidents are, such a statistical anomaly? And wouldn't you say that that's in a way hand waving? So how come now, when you're doing the same thing, sort of, you bring up individual incidents?
I don't think I hand waved anything. What
right,
I was trying
what
to
I'm
say
saying is that, well, it seems like you were saying that's like a rarity, right,
Yeah.
earlier.
So
and now
what
when
I
it comes to
say-
these, like, mhm.
So what I say is, what matters most is like women's discomfort rather than women being at risk of being attacked. That's what the point there was.
I think
Right.
discomfort comes from ignorance. That's
That's
my
completely
opinion.
untrue.
Why?
Well,
You don't
if
think
someone's
that's real? You don't
traumatized,
think that's...
Then it's not ignorance, it's trauma, for example. There's lots of reasons why women might
If
be
someone's
uncomfortable.
traumatized, what traumatized about being around...
Being around men in close spaces. And maybe don't see that trans woman as a trans woman, but just see them as a man. Because if you don't pass, then people are just going to see you as a man, not a trans woman. And
That's
the point of
something that
transitioning
needs...
is that people know you as the other sex, even though you're not. That's how you become a woman.
That, right. That's, okay, that's your opinion.
No, it's true.
I think that's how you... So you have the ultimate path to becoming a woman and how you integrate as a woman in society.
Not me. That is what transgender refers to. You can't change your sex. What you can do is take on gendered traits that mean that when people look at you, in their heads, that's a woman. So in a way, at least in some versions of reality, you are a woman, not a man. That's the point of being trans. It's not just calling yourself a thing. It's actually changing gender in the eyes of other people. That's what the transition is.
But that
It's not
doesn't
changing
work
sex.
for everyone, does it?
Well, then
There
maybe
are
they're not
people
trans.
who
Maybe
will
they need to
never-
do something else. Maybe they're
Are
non-binary.
you saying that
Maybe
if
they're
someone
queer.
can't pass enough, they're not trans? Like if they're physically incapable of
It's not that
passing
they're
enough,
not
despite no
trans.
matter how...
It's not that they're not trans, it's that their transition isn't as successful if people are still seeing them as a man when they're male.
Do you think that anyone ever sees you that way? Like out and about in the world? Ever?
People see a mixture,
Ever.
probably.
Okay. Then do you think that the way that the world perceives you, if you look woman enough, is how you should be treated just by outside opinions based off of fear-mongering that's been going on, moral panic for
You're
years
adding
and
all
years
this stuff
and years?
in. Like, ask the question again, but like normally.
What? Wait, what?
Fear-mongering, all
Did you
this
not
shit, I don't
understand?
care. Ask the question normally.
I just...
You're assuming that
what was
people
that?
think a certain way based on fear-mongering and stuff, and I'm not interested
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
assumption.
I mean, yes.
I don't read
no,
minds,
yes.
I don't
I
claim
mean,
to.
it literally is. I mean,
No, it's
I
not.
understand. Like,
Might be on some cases.
yeah, okay.
You're just intuiting what people think, but you can't intuit that I was being serious or not serious earlier.
I
don't care.
understand what people like. I understand the fear mongering that goes on. I've
think you
seen
do.
plenty of it. I've heard. I grew up on like Fox News and Rush Limbaugh
Yeah,
and
and you've
all of that
overcorrected.
stuff.
And you've overcorrected.
I've overcorrected. I mean,
Yes.
you can think that if you want. Like you
It's
could think
true.
that maybe
It's
I'm a little
obvious.
bit more intense about it because of like my background, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, so you've overcorrected.
I mean, you can think that I overcorrected. You can
very
if
apparent.
that I'm,
I'm intuiting.
but that's your standard. That's your opinion. That's fine.
Yes, that is my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the point of why I said it.
What I'm saying though is that I don't think that people who look at you on the street and clock you, I don't think that those people who are afraid of trans women should be able to decide what your rights are. That's my
They're not.
opinion.
They can't. That's the government. They can vote for a different
These
government.
people influence the This is
Right.
But they're not
they are-
deciding my
Exactly.
rights.
That's those people can have like a democratic sway over
That's
the government's actions, right?
That's just it. That's how it is. That's fine.
What? So no one should engage in politics or trying to make legislation
Are you
more
seriously
more
thinking that
protective
that's
of
what I
people's
said?
rights?
Do you seriously
No,
think
I'm
in your heart of
asking.
hearts?
I'm asking.
Why?
You can
Why
say
are you
that that's
asking
not
me
what you
that?
mean.
Why are you asking that? That's the stupidest question
That
I've
was
heard in my
my
life.
next.
If you're going to
Okay,
start
tell me.
saying, okay, so do you think this completely ridiculous, extreme version of what you're saying, just assume the answer is no and then ask me a sensible question that's worth answering.
Why would I? You won't even answer if you meant your apology. Come
Yeah, because I
on.
don't need to tell you.
Then
We
what?
can argue about that for half an hour again. It's dog shit content, but I don't mind. I mean, you lot watch Firebat. You're no stranger to coal, right?
So I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. I mean, we disagree on these things. You think I overcorrected. I think that you are maybe overcorrecting in another direction.
I think I have previously. I think I'm kind of coming back, actually. If you watch more of my stuff, and I mean this sincerely, like if you watch some of my more recent stuff, it's a real mixture of things. And
You
I
mean,
do
like,
actually
it's
have quite a
less
few
extreme?
excuse me. I do actually have quite a few like transpositive takes that I think are being completely ignored. And part of that is
Okay.
because you're picking and choosing. I want to watch this thing that's specifically critical. And you're not looking at the wider picture and not understanding that my worldview or whatever is made up of a lot of different things. And you're not going to get that from watching a single thing that you're going to find offensive. And in fact, I think you've turned your brain off because you've watched that. I think it's kind of set into motion that now you dislike me, and now everything I say is going to be through that lens of this is a bad person. So I think fundamentally this whole thing is built on like sand. It's a pretty worthless conversation, to be honest. Although at least we got to get into some stuff. You know, I appreciate that, to be honest. We did have a bit of a good discussion for a while.
Yeah. And I appreciate you talking to me. I appreciate Perry. Even though Perry's not the most unbiased, I appreciate Perry too. I mean, if I'm going to look at someone's content, I want to look at the more interesting stuff. So are you saying that like you have become more like that's not representative of what you do now, or less representative?
I don't know how representative any one video is, I guess. And obviously when I said, you know, when I chose a video and sent it, that was just one that had a lot of like simple like trans takes like kind of stated. It didn't really matter what the conceit of the video was at that point. It's just I state a lot of stuff in a very basic and easy kind of way, where there's no need for like additional context.
It was about debating a cis man that was like anti-trans. Like I wanted to see you like talk about like a trans woman, because that's what, you know.
Yeah, well, there's lots
I've
of
heard
videos you could have chosen that weren't that one. So
that's
I wouldn't judge me based on one
the
video.
title. The title caught my interest, and so
yeah, I know, because you wanted something to be offended
yeah.
by, because you already don't like me.
I mean, I thought it was out of pocket when I saw you say the stuff to Femia, so that
yeah, but you don't know. I
wanted to know more about that. I mean, like I said, the history. History doesn't matter. It could be
history doesn't matter.
Replace Femias with anything else. You should obviously be able to own the things that you say,
have I not?
Regardless of who's involved.
Have I not?
It does seem, Aiko, like Mary does agree. She already apologized, and it seems to be the case that stuff that she was saying about. Okay, it seems to be the case that the stuff that she said about Fabio's stuff that like fits within her worldview, the stuff about, you know, if you don't go out and being a crossdresser, you've already hashed it out, and if you think she was being mean to Fabio's, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah. Again, if you want to bring up the apology again, Perry, you can't use that as a point, okay? You can't use the apology as a point when we don't even know if it is apology. Because you haven't finished. Because you refuse to say. You refuse to stand on business.
Why do you need me to say?
Because I'd like to see an example of you standing on business behind something very simple that you said just yesterday.
Why? What's the motivation behind that?
It's very clear cut. Because I want to see if you actually will, and you aren't.
Yeah, because I don't feel obliged to, and it's funnier to fuck with you by making you ask the same question.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm sure that this is how it's going to be received overall.
Oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
All right, hey.
Oh no.
If you don't want to stand by something that you said,
that's not what's going on.
That's your prerogative. That is what you're going.
I'll stand by it. I just don't want it from you.
You're just not repeating.
I don't think you're genuine. So why should I answer if I'm genuine?
I just wanted you to say yes or no. If you lie, it's up to you. That's your problem. Because you should be able to say if you meant something that you said yesterday. Because it would be ridiculous if you didn't. You're not just talking to me. You did this publicly.
And they can ask me. Anyone who's sincerely interested can ask me.
Why should anyone go to, like, who cares about going to you? It's not like
you're here.
No, I'm here because Perry asked me to, but
for fucking ages.
We get the idea with regards to whether or not someone should believe that. We get the idea. I think we all get the idea there. There's one thing that we didn't discuss here. I don't know if you guys really care about the Firebat stuff anymore. Mary, you're saying that you were just like fucking with Firebat when you send that like message or whatever. Is that what you were saying?
Well, it's complicated, but I'm realizing that I actually have quite a lot of control over certain other people's content. And so if I want to, I can use someone like that as a mouthpiece, you know?
Wait, what? Control over people's... What do you mean?
It seems like what Mary is saying, Aiko, is that she wanted you to cover the statement she made to Firebat. And so she just messaged Firebat that, knowing Firebat would leak.
Okay, yeah.
Knowing that you would have to engage.
That's what
with those
happened,
questions.
yes. Definitely, yes. I'm sure everyone, all of us believe that, I'm sure.
I don't care what you believe.
If that's your story,
You believe lots of
though.
things that I
Like
think are
that's really
ridiculous. You write women
your
off
story though.
as
Is that true though? Did what Perry just say? Is that
Bro, why do you need
representative?
everything confirming like this? Why can't you just use your fucking brain and come up with an idea?
I have ideas. I'm asking you what's in your head, and you can't be honest for some reason.
I can be honest. I'm just choosing not to.
Okay, exactly. You are choosing not to. You are choosing not to be, and I think that says a lot about a person.
Why don't you stop doing like psycho streams on me? Just listen to some of my takes and actually come to me with a decent conversation, and I'll answer things honestly. You come at me like a fucking joke. So what do you expect from me? I'm going to take a piss at you.
I'm only doing this because of Perry.
Yeah, you're moving on.
Yes, for Perry. It's for Perry's sake. Perry really needs to know whether I was being serious about my apology to Femi.
No,
I'm so sorry,
you
Perry.
apologize in front of in front of President Sunday.
Yes, I know.
And everyone that watched. Yes, everyone. So this is you saying that you refuse to confirm if you meant it or not, what you just said yesterday.
Why do I have to confirm whether I meant it or not?
Because do you lie? Are you willing to just say shit?
You'll never know.
That's what I want to know.
You'll never know.
Okay, fine. Then I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'll just think less of you, and that's fine.
Good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go find some other rapist to cover instead of soying out about my ass the whole time. I ain't never raped anyone.
Why are you defending...
I'm not defending him.
Firebat so much.
He's a fucking freak. Maybe he is a rapist, and if so, he should go to the fucking police. You people should actually fucking do something about it. You called it
actually, you said...
do something about it.
If you did neglect consent to not do it anymore. You called it neglecting consent.
Yeah,
and I find that quite disturbing.
Well, how would you word it, Aiko?
Not getting consent? Not not accepting consent, or I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Not receiving consent. It's not neglecting is like when you pushing Mary, calm down. It's okay. Calm down. Neglecting consent is not a thing. Neglecting is when you forget to feed your child. Can I finish? Perry, can I finish?
Let Aiko make her point.
Neglecting consent. I'll wait.
No, I'm waiting for you.
She's there. She's listening.
Okay.
I can see what you're saying.
Hurry up is what I'm saying.
When you neglect something, you neglect a child by not feeding it. You neglect. It's when you don't. You recklessly let something go uncared for. Firebat pushed past the no. Pushed past consent. That's not neglect.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't care about your tone policing. I don't care about the tiny little bits of language. I use words that I'm probably using them on a slant all the time because I just use the word that comes to my mouth. You know what I mean?
All right. So it just doesn't. So you're wrong. You used the wrong word then. You would have.
I think it's fine.
You would have phrased it differently.
If you're that desperate for a W that you'll go with, I used a slightly downplaying kind of word.
I'm just asking you.
Then you can go ahead.
Okay, downplaying word. Why did you use a downplaying word?
Well,
then?
I'm saying it could be interpreted.
You consider it a downplaying?
Okay. Why do you care so much what I worded every individual word as? Haven't you got other rapists? Why don't you do something? Why don't you go to the police with the evidence you've got? Why you just sat there every fucking day?
To the police?
This guy's a rapist. This guy's a rapist. So do something about it. Fucking do something about it.
I mean, honestly.
Oh, you don't care?
Would we still be going... Listen.
You don't care?
I wouldn't go...
Then do something about it.
Mary, could you just let Aiko say?
Okay.
You obviously did something about it. You went and you supported the rapist, so that's a choice.
You're supporting rapists all the time.
I'm here. I'm observing.
Why is it, Aiko, if you believe that a rape occurred, that you do not have to take action?
Because I support... Well, the reason why we know about the rape in the first place is because I was watching a while ago Firebat and Tanya's... One of their uploads, and Firebat brought up the rape. Seraphe was in my chat and said, "Oh, wow, I can't believe that I never thought he'd bring that up." And so she tells us about it. That's how we know. So
then do something about it.
She's the one. Why would I do something about it? Seraphe
Then stop going on about it. It doesn't matter then. But you don't care that much.
Why?
You don't want to see him face justice?
Why?
If he's done it, I would love to see him face justice. I hope he gets fucking 100 years. If he did something worth it. Fuck that guy. I don't care about him.
If he did, okay, so you think that if he did what he's accused of doing, he should go to jail for 100 years?
If
you
he
think
has
that
done things
what's described?
If he's done something
what
that
described?
warrants that.
No, not warrants that, but based on the accusations, do you think he should go to jail for 100 years?
Well, I'm saying he should actually
If they
go to
were
jail
true?
if he's a rapist, yes. It doesn't have to be 100 years.
If the allegations, because you are not, I know that you think that maybe calling him a rapist is too extreme.
You don't know anything about what I think, so I think you should just focus on what you do know.
Mary, I do want to ask you though about your line of reasoning here. So, do you really think that if anybody is covering, a rapist or somebody that's raped, especially in the case of Firebat, something that happened 10 years ago, do you believe that they actually do need to, put up or shut up and go to the authorities? Do you really think that's a standard?
I think you can make your point, and I think you can expose things, but then when it becomes just over and over, this person's a rapist, it becomes pointless, and it kind of seems like people are profiting off of being the good guy who's calling out the rapist while not actually doing anything about it. That's how it comes off to me. Because you'll get paid for this shit, I know. Why aren't those donors going to fucking rape shelters? Why aren't any of you working in a fucking rape center, You care about rape that much? Why don't you talk about anyone else that does rapes? Are there no other rapists? Is that what you're talking to me right now?
I talk about lots of rapists, actually.
Oh,
I
good.
talk about too many
more.
rapists. When I started talking about Firebat, I didn't know that they were a rapist.
Then find some other rapists
was happy to have a lolcow that wasn't a rapist, and then
it's all about the lolcow shit.
Is.
That's my point. It's all about the lolcow shit. It's not about the rape. The rape is just an added bonus where you get to moralize this guy.
No,
and get paid
I actually
for it,
think
but you
it's
don't
pretty
actually do
fucking
anything
disgusting.
about the issues. You don't actually do anything about rape.
Aside from the rape, the fact that Firebat has confessed to punching, headbutting their pregnant wife, slapping Seraphe.
When she wasn't pregnant.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine then. So with, and the past history of violence, going to juvie twice for assaulting their foster family members.
Yeah, they've got fucking
this
issues.
person with a history of violence. Yeah. So what I'm confused by is why you would want to lend your support to someone like that.
That assumes that I am lending my support to that person.
You sent a supportive message with life advice.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
you
so
did.
it must have been meant as that then.
You said what they should,
Suddenly
what
you can intuit it
Firebat
again.
should be doing, and how talking shit about how Trough stream's terrible and
They
blah
are
blah
terrible.
blah. That's fine. That's your opinion.
It's true.
Yeah. So, but you choose the side of Firebat.
I didn't choose the side.
That's what you do. I'm sorry.
How many names have I called Firebat? How many times have I
Firebat-
called him a fucking wretch and a fucking freak and a disgusting
Firebat
person?
is literally watching your videos and taking your points.
I don't care.
Firebat now says that he said that he raped under stress because you said
I never
that.
said shit about that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You said that the confession
You're a liar.
didn't. What?
You're a
I'm
liar.
sorry? Okay, so you never said that.
Never said what?
That they raped under
Come on.
stress, I
Never
suppose.
said that.
Yeah.
What, that they said that? Okay, so you never said that what Firebat said could have been said under stress or duress or something or pressure or something like that, and therefore not be 100% something you could rely on as a confession. Lots of things are possibilities.
Exactly. Then open your mind.
But when you go out of your way to say, apropos of nothing,
What does going out of my way mean?
Bringing it up, taking upon yourself to go talk to Firebat, to do streams talking about how it's not enough of an admission because it was under stress.
That's my opinion.
Firebat taking
I didn't
that
say
on.
it was under stress. It's a possibility. I don't know what the truth is.
Yeah.
That's why I don't pretend that I know
Obviously,
what the truth is. It's very
no one knows.
simple.
Right.
Yes, but when you bring it up, and you're the only one who said that, no one else said that, and then Firebat saw you say that, and Firebat started saying that.
So what?
So you brought up the concept. So you're not saying it's 100% true, but you introduced this. And as a result, Firebat,
So what?
I'm saying that's weird. That's very strange. Very
You're weird.
strange.
Do I care about that? So why do you care about this?
Well, Aiko, you don't just think it's weird. It seems
Who
like
fucking
you
cares
think
about
it's a
anything?
I think
This is
it's
the stupidest fucking shit I've
disgusting.
ever had in my life.
Okay.
I can get you fucking people talking about my shit whenever I want, and I know how to do it. There you go. Believe whatever you want.
And then
You make
what?
things up about me anyway.
You cut
don't
out for a
actually understand
second.
the shit that I say.
You cut out.
And when
You
we
cut out.
actually talk about it, it becomes clear that actually my positions in general are generally reasonable. So I'm not this terrible person you make me out to be, and I'm not this fucking turf that you make me out to be. It's not going to stop you saying it. So I can say what I want.
Yeah.
I could say...
I stand by that.
I could be talking complete shit the entire time. Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you could.
Because you
And
don't
that's the
listen to a word I
problem.
say. You're not listening to me.
That's the problem because you don't have the credibility of meaning what you say.
You don't have any credibility.
You being like,
Your ex fucking
I mean,
Twitch
at least I say what I say that I mean what I say. You won't even
Yeah, I say
that you meant what you said.
I say what I mean, that I mean what I say. Okay, everything that
That's
I'm
not the
saying is a
words that
completely
came out of
100%
my mouth, actually.
genuinely, honestly my
won't-
opinion.
you
There you
won't-
go. Now you can fucking take me seriously. Congratulations.
And that I'm sorry, that includes the apology. So yes, you did mean the apology to Femias, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Why can you? You just
So,
okay.
There's
Okay.
kind of two parts
All
to
right.
it, okay? There's two
All
parts
right,
to
I
it.
think that's
There's two
pretty
parts
much.
to it, okay? So
Uh-huh.
I meant completely what I said about Femios when I apologized.
Mm-hmm.
I meant that I felt sorry for apologizing. Fuck me, dude, I'm getting confused. I meant what I said apologizing to Femios. The second part is I didn't mean any of it.
Right.
So which is
What
it?
What are you saying? Oh, those are the two
I'm saying
options
both are
you're
true
saying.
simultaneously.
That you meant it and you didn't mean it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How? Explain.
I don't need to. That's how it is. You
Yeah,
asked me
that's
to be
not
genuine,
an
I'm being
answer.
genuine.
That's not real. Okay, so you genuinely are just sketchy and won't stand on business about what you say.
If you're intuiting like my personality,
I'm not
from
intuiting.
this,
You're telling me to
when you
intuit.
came at me,
You are
like the
literally
most
telling
insane
me
fucking
to
freak I've
intuit
ever met in my
everything
life.
because you won't
You don't
say.
get to see who I really am. That's the whole point. I guess you did for a little
I
bit because we
don't-
actually had a fucking discussion.
No, very true.
But you don't get to
You
see
keep
who I really am.
saying-
I don't give a fuck
You keep
about
saying
you.
that Aiko came after you. Is it just them calling you a turf and covering you for 10 hours? Is that?
It wasn't covering me for 10 hours. It was covering me for fucking 40 plus hours.
Right, 40 hours.
Saying
Is
all
that,
kinds
like,
of crazy
going
shit. I don't even
after
know
you?
what most of it was because I can't watch that fucking shit. It's fucking painful.
Right.
It's okay. It's not for you. We obviously were covering you, but we talk about a whole bunch of things in between.
Yeah,
It's
and now you're
not-
telling me
it's
you know
not
what my
meant for-
personality is, and you're intuiting my personality based on a dogshit conversation that you know is not like serious.
You told me that I have to intuit it, what you think and say.
Yeah, not my personality. You don't know me.
It just
I don't know
seems
you.
like-
What am
I
I
don't know what your
supposed to
fucking
do?
personality is. I don't know who you are when you're off screen. If you're with
Yeah.
your mum and dad or whatever, I don't know how you act. I don't pretend to know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how you act when talking to someone you actually like versus someone like me who you don't like. I'm not going to pretend like I do. You're trying to say, oh, I'm like this as a person because I won't answer some stupid question when I'm not obliged to. And you haven't presented
That's what
yourself
you
as
are
someone
here
that I feel like I
in
should
this
be honest with.
context.
You don't
I'm
deserve
sure
honesty.
you have. I'm sure you have. Oh,
You don't deserve to be
it's not
taken
for
seriously by
It's
me.
not because I deserve it. It's because you are here.
No, you're turning it
talking
back
to
on me. I'm
on
telling you
this
how I feel now.
stream.
You don't listen to a word I say. There's no point in me
I've
saying
been
anything. I
listening.
might as well say complete nonsense. I might as well make everything the fuck
You
up
have.
because you're
Can
going to
you
do
make
so
more
anyway.
nonsense than you've already been doing?
That's very rich.
Okay.
It's very clear
Will you take back
that
that
you
I'm a
guys don't
turf
respect
now that
each
you know
other.
that I'm trans inclusive when it comes to like bathrooms and stuff?
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Say that again. Perry was talking.
Right, no, it's they asked, will you take back, Aiko, that Mary Chu is a turf now that you've heard their points about trans-inclusive bathrooms?
No, absolutely not.
There you
The
go. Then you
bathroom
don't listen
thing
to
is
a word I
better,
say, so I
but
don't
yeah,
care.
no, I think overall, I definitely, yeah, no,
You
I
don't even know
definitely
what
think
turf
that
is.
she has. Typically, it's cis people that think that trans people should be excluded.
Then I can't be a... I don't think trans people should be excluded. I think there's certain things where it makes more sense to regard them as their sex rather than their gender. That's not exclusion.
Yeah,
That's how you
it
order
is.
people.
When
That's
you
where you
when
put
you
people.
are
Okay, so it's exclusive to say that men can't go in women's bathrooms. That's exclusionary then, according to you.
trans women.
Why is it that trans people
women.
should be less excluded from things than cis people?
I think that everyone should have the same rights.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
As,
You think
as
that
much
trans
as
people should have more
possible.
rights.
As much as presently, the reason why I'm making a point about trans women's rights versus cis women's rights is because I see that there's much more. I don't want to say harm, but there's a lot worse things happening to trans women than cis women in this context when it comes to bathrooms, when it comes to like not being able to join the military, having to like get a new license because they decided you have to like
I'm
change
against that kind of
your
stuff.
sex
People should be
back.
free.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But then things like the gender pay
But
gap
you
still
also-
exist.
don't you
things
also
like period
think-
poverty still exist.
don't
Those
you
are female
also-
issues.
I'm sorry, you say that again? Sorry, I was talking over you.
Things like period poverty, things like the gender pay gap still exists, which are female issues. So sometimes trans women actually have advantages over women. If trans women...
It's not about advantages
If
over...
If trans women can fill quotas in jobs for like female people, and you've got two candidates, one of them might have to take a whole bunch of time off because she's going to get pregnant one day. The other is a trans woman who can't. Then the trans woman has an advantage in that way, if they're like otherwise equal. So that specifically disadvantages women against trans women. These are very complicated things where rights clash, and we have to acknowledge that sometimes rights clash and form opinions on what to do about that. That's the kind of thing that I talk about.
So you're saying when an employer is choosing between when they have to consider a quota of hiring females, that they're more likely to give it to the trans woman than a female?
I'm saying that the trans woman is advantaged in certain ways. It's not as simple as...
Do you think they're more hireable? Do you think a trans woman is more hireable than a cis woman?
Well, it really depends on a lot of factors.
In a high...
I'm trying to express that it's not as simple as trans women have it worse than women. What I'm expressing is, actually, it's kind of a mix. There's things that trans women are actually advantaged on, and things that they're disadvantaged on. And what people do is they don't see the nuance of this, and they just see it as, you're either trans inclusive or you're not. Black and white. I ain't here for that. My position is somewhere in the middle, you know?
Well, yeah, that's my thing. I think that your position that's in the middle, not the most extreme of extremes. I still think that that's not far enough, in my opinion. You can have your positions and
why are you telling
whatever
me
you
how
think.
I ought to think about trans issues as a trans person who has lived as a trans person for a long time?
I'm just talking about your professed
openly
takes.
trans for well over a decade.
Just talking about your takes. This is my opinion.
I've forgotten less about trans than you have ever learned.
Okay, how about this? When I was watching your Katie Neves video, you said stuff about how like kids should
be forgotten more. You'll be forgotten more, Mary Chu, just so you know. You fucked that up.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
You fucking moron. Yeah, Aiko, yeah.
Okay, so when I saw you talking about kids and puberty blockers, you were saying that if a kid takes puberty blockers, they can become sterile.
Well, they will if they follow the protocol, yeah. And most of them do.
Protocol of... So, including, what do you mean?
Social transition, then puberty blockers, then cross-sex hormones, then eventually surgery.
Okay, so then after puberty, once HRT starts is what you're saying. That's when the sterility issue could come in.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's what you're saying.
It's necessary that if you transition as a kid that you will never become fertile like ever. So you're making a decision. Because you have to bear in mind, in the overwhelming...
That's not true.
Hang on. No, it is true. In the overwhelming majority of cases, if a child goes on to puberty blockers, and there's studies confirming this, they will then end up on HRT. So in effect, they're making a decision as to whether they're going to have their own kids at very young ages. I don't see that as appropriate. I don't think a kid can consent to that kind of thing. And if you change your mind,
age does someone start HRT? What age do people typically start taking HRT if they are transitioning when they're young?
Depends. I think it's normally... They don't like them being on puberty blockers for more than a year or two. So I
Really?
presume it's going to depend on the person. What age does someone go through puberty?
I don't think so. If someone starts taking puberty blockers when they're like 13, they're gonna like stop and make them start taking HRT at 14. I don't think that's how it works.
How does it
Also,
work,
when
then?
I was looking,
How does it work,
I don't
then?
think.
No. How does it work then?
Oh yeah, no, I'll say. To my understanding, and I understand that, like, you know, it depends on the access of resources and whatnot. But if you do have access to resources, then typically what will happen is minors, before they start HRT, they can have their sperm and their eggs frozen. So if they want to have kids in the future, they can.
What's the success rates of those kind of treatments? How likely is it they'll have their own kids?
I don't know, but I imagine that if you do it before. No. Why do you think it's not high if you take perfectly unaffected eggs before HRT and save them,
Because
or
there's studies
sperm and
saying
save
things
them?
like, you know, they're like 30% likely or something like that. There's stuff that I've read. I have to go back.
Why?
Through it, but this is just stuff that I've
based
read.
on
This
what?
is studies saying that.
For medical reasons, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't expect Mary to
only
understand
so
biology.
I don't. No. You can say that, Perry. But I was just, looking into it, the process, and I'm saying, like, I understand that not many people probably won't have access to being able to like freeze their eggs or sperm or whatever.
Yeah. How many
But
even can?
the issue isn't.
How many even can?
I don't know, but that's
So
an
then
issue
not
of
all of them
resources,
can?
isn't it?
And then the frozen.
That's an issue of resources.
Yeah. So not all of them can. And then what they freeze, those gametes, there's no guarantee that they'll work anyway.
Why?
Because that's just how it is. Like there's stuff about this.
Because of what?
Do some
Because of
research. Do some research into like
I
how
mean,
often.
It seems like there's a
looked into it a
30%
little bit.
Can I
chance.
finish the fucking sentence? Do some research into how often like cryogenically frozen whatever gametes are successful and like actually reproduce a child. It's not 100% of cases. It's not just we take
So
a
when
sperm and then love a kid
people
one day.
go to
Maybe you
fertility
won't.
clinics and they have their eggs frozen to use in the future, it's only a 30% chance that it'll even work.
I can't remember the exact number, but it's not a guaranteed thing. You can freeze all
Why
your
would it-
eggs and
of
sperm and
course.
shit, and it can still end up not working. And you're making that decision
Right.
as a kid.
Yeah, true. The percentage there's always a risk of that, yes, but 30% isn't a reasonable number to
What do you
be
mean it's
saying,
not
because
reasonable?
why would
I'm just saying I read something,
reasonable
man. Look it up
how?
in your own time.
I did though. I'm telling you, I'm asking you these questions.
Yeah, I know you're asking questions.
Well, do you have a number?
It doesn't matter what the number is. I'm already saying I don't remember.
I have
off the
no
top of my
idea
head.
about freezing, like
the
what
actual
the
point is.
how
It's not
difficult
100%
the
effective. That's all that matters. We don't need to
Nothing-
quibble over
yes,
the number.
I understand.
It's not 100%
I understand.
effective. And not everyone can do it in the
That's
first place.
totally true.
There we
Which
go,
is
thank you.
why I agree that this is a serious decision to make if you start taking hormones, and it can affect your future fertility and so on.
Exactly.
But this is why what's needed is for parents to be able to have resources to understand, to work with doctors, can get multiple opinions and figure out a care plan that you reassess every appointment, like how things usually go. I think
problem
that
is-
the idea that people are forcing their kids to transition for the rest of their lives when they're
I never said that. We're going off onto something I didn't say. The
Okay.
whole point is
they
they
go
can't
ahead.
screen. So with kids especially, like if we're saying gender identity is a thing, which I don't really believe in that kind of stuff. But gender identity is not generally a static thing, not in everyone anyway. It changes in a lot of people. I think it probably changes a lot more when you're young. When you still don't know yourself, you think you're like this, and then you still have a lot of stuff to discover. And it becomes more kind of solidified over time. And it probably takes most people their whole life to understand it fully. So pinning it down at a young age seems crazy to me. Like, there was something else. Fuck. No, it's gone. I'll try and remember. Yeah.
Well, you said pinning it down. You're not pinning it down,
Yes,
like,
you are.
especially since I would. Well, okay. So puberty blockers. That's something that I'll look up how long people typically stay on that, but that buys you time, doesn't it? Before you
Doesn't
go
pan
on
out that way.
hormones.
It's stated that
How-
it is
how
that
not?
way.
How
Because
not?
the overwhelming majority of kids that go on puberty blockers for trans purposes end up taking HRT. And the thing
they?
is, you might say, well, it's
I believe-
confirmation.
Yeah.
But what kind of confirmation bias is building? You socially transition your kid because he likes playing with Barbies or whatever the reason is. You know, it might be genuine, it might be something stupid. It doesn't really matter. So you change their name. You know, these adults are telling you, okay, you can be this instead. And you start the treatment. It all builds this kind of confirmation bias. It can take years to undo that kind of thing.
That sounds like bad parenting.
But I don't
That
care what you
sounds
think
like
about
bad
do you have
parenting.
kids?
No, I don't.
I don't fucking care. Like,
do you have kids?
No, that's why I'm not making comments on people's parenting. You know what I say?
No, I just literally, do you not think that if a parent like forces a kid into a transition that they're a bad parent if they're not, if they're leading their kid?
Every time I say something, you change it. I can't have a conversation like this. Every time I say something, you change it. It's fucking painful.
Let me ask the question though. You said that you balked at me saying that it's bad parenting, but do you not agree that that's bad parenting?
If thing has got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I hear TERFs saying things like, oh, you transitioned your kid, that's child abuse. I think that's a really shitty thing to say because the parent has their own reasons. They might be very genuinely thinking that this is the best thing for their kid. I don't think it's fair to just say that's child abuse. I don't think it's necessarily bad parenting to transition your kid. It depends. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not for transitioning kids, but I don't judge the parents. I don't have kids. It's not really my place to.
Well, then wouldn't it be better to talk about like education, parents understanding? And I mean, like these things, outliers, sure. People who are, maybe someone's very like excited about having a trans child. I don't know. But that's not typically how it works out. Like in real life, if someone, the parent is engaged, if you go to a doctor, doctors don't just let you like,
doctors tend to follow the WPATH model. WPATH model is about affirming as quickly as possible. WPATH had members that were presented with like kids with like DID. And instead of saying, oh, we really need to fix this DID thing going on first before we consider you. It's like, no, what we need to do is get the consent of all these different alters so that we can transition this person whose identity is completely fractured. And who knows when it becomes whole, who they actually are and what they should look like. WPATH says get it done as quickly as possible. I think that's a bad thing. So to an extent, going to the doctor can end up being part of the problem. And it depends whether it's right for the kid, but you can't screen the kids for who it's right for and who it's not. You just don't know.
Wait, how can't you? That's the job of a doctor. That's why you would talk to a psychiatrist. That's why you go through like screenings. You can and you don't just shove them on hormones and stuff. Everyone's going to be different. There are pros and cons to all different kinds of treatments. Doing it now versus making them go through puberty and try to offset it later. Like this is a decision that the parents have to make with the child and the doctor, with communication and care every step of the way.
What do you say to those that went through that transition and then get to their early 20s or something and they can't have their own kids and now they regret everything? They've realized their gender identity is not what they thought it was before. What do you say to those kids?
Then, like if they went, they're sterile or something, like
so let's say you
because
take a girl,
of HRT.
Let's say you take a girl who went on puberty blockers, then went on hormones, had a mastectomy, is no longer able to have their own kids, and say by age 21, because that's very young apparently, they changed their mind now. They've been trans for about 8 years and they realize that they actually identify as a woman, and they're not happy that they've changed their body irreversibly based on a decision they potentially made when they were like very young as a child, you know? Isn't that a serious thing? Shouldn't we consider that kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, you absolutely have to consider the future repercussions. Okay, yeah, that's fair. If you think that there are not enough safeguards for that, but the answer isn't that to like stop them from, because you're against puberty blockers for kids and stuff, right?
In the overwhelming vast majority of cases, I don't think you should transition children. I think it should be an adult decision that you make.
But I mean, they should have to like up till they're an adult, just go through their natural puberty until
because there's studies that say 18. That some of these people will kind of their identity will come back round. Their dysphoria will lessen.
So you think this should be enforced? Like the rules should reflect that they can't.
I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed
to.
I don't think the evidence is good enough that this is helping these kids. There's a lot of studies out there that suggest very, very little benefit to actually giving them puberty blockers. I think it loads a lot of confirmation bias. That means it can take years to realize you're making a mistake because it's not right for everyone. I don't think it's a decision that a kid should be making personally.
I mean, the puberty blockers part is like hitting the pause button on it so they can make those decisions a little later.
That's what the party line is, but that's not how it works out in practice. In practice, basically everyone goes on to it. Something like 95% in one study.
I don't know what that study is, but what I'd like to say is that how it's functioning right now? I'm talking about like ideally, if it functioned, let's say if people were properly screened, and like this was definitely a trans child. No, I'm just asking, do you think that they should be able to go on puberty blockers in that case?
I think we still need more evidence that kind of harms, because we pushed an awful lot of this like fully reversible stuff that is just completely untrue. I don't know about fully reversible. It's not nothing like really. Nothing is exactly. But like,
it's like you take medications that in the future could like hurt your liver or whatever, but it's like the need for it is more important than any future complications that you'll deal with in the future. Like you're weighing out your best options, and I think that like forcing a trans child to like a trans girl to grow up to like get facial hair, all of that stuff. I like couldn't. You don't think that would be traumatizing?
What's a trans girl? What's a trans girl?
Like what? Wait, what do you mean? Like someone who is assigned male at birth and identifies as a girl and wants to transition?
Because someone identifies as something other.
That's what they want to know. Okay,
way.
This is what their No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
What is trans?
Stick with me here. I'm asking you. I want this question answered. Okay. I want to know. Let's say it is this child is someone that is growing up to be 100% trans woman, and they will have no regrets, right? That child, should they still be forced to go through a male puberty?
I think saying forced to go through a male puberty is an odd way of putting it.
Or
if in an ideal world you could take a kid at 10 and they say they're trans and they would only have transitioned anyway, then maybe. But the problem is it doesn't reflect in the current situation. You know? We don't have the evidence to say that this is a good thing that we should continue doing. And that's why countries like the UK and Sweden and Finland and increasing other amounts of countries are starting to say we need to hold back on this and actually see what the data says. We don't really know. Like, something important. Until about 10 years ago, the gender identity clinics in the UK, they were seeing like small amounts of kids. Like in 2008, it was something like 50 or so. In 2022-ish, it was thousands, like about 4,000. Most of the trans kids that we're seeing, the ones that go on treatment, are very recent. We don't really know how this is affecting their lifespans, what's going to happen when they get older, because a lot of them are quite recent cases. There's too much we don't know, in my opinion. What we're doing in the UK is doing trials and stuff, and I support that. I don't think we should shut them down like some people say. But I don't think we have the evidence to say that this is a good idea. And there's too many risks at the moment. So I'm against it myself.
What do you think about like other uses for puberty blockers?
So
like other
puberty,
medical uses.
So first off, I've been on a puberty blocker because they use it for suppressing testosterone and estrogen in general. I was on something called Decapeptyl, and I had surgery, so I didn't need it anymore. So it is already used for trans people that are adults. I was like 27.
Okay, so you were an adult. Okay, yeah, okay, so I got it.
There's that kind of usage anyway. I mean, like the kind of stuff they use for puberty blockers, I think was used for like chemical castration, like cancer and stuff like that. With precocious puberty, it's kind of mixed. Like, from what I understand, they're reticent to really use them at all, and only for like short periods of time. There were a bunch of girls that sued Lupron, I think it was, because they were on these puberty blockers, and later in life have all these problems with like bones and stuff. So I think they have to be very careful and make sure that there's more of a risk of this precocious puberty harming them than, than taking the puberty blocker. And even then, I think they're only on it for like short periods of time.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, I think that these are all things that need to be made, like decisions that need to be made on a case-by-case basis, with working
Do you not think
closely with medical professionals
think you're
to
recusing
treat
yourself?
the individual child.
Do you not think you're
I'm sorry.
Do you not think you're recusing yourself from having an opinion by saying stuff like that? Are you not like
By
kind
saying
of
what?
entering into the discussion and backing out by saying, well, it's on other people?
No,
you
no,
not
no.
think
I'm
you're
sorry.
doing
I'm
that?
sorry. I think it's important for people, parents, and their trans children to have access to information and to medical health care. So if someone is just willy-nilly sending this child on a trajectory that goes straight a year of puberty blockers, then straight to hormones, and not even taking consideration those future potential problems, that's bad. That should be that's done poorly. That needs to be fixed. But the issue isn't giving the kids puberty blockers when they reach that certain age. It's, you know, a failure of the system, of the medical professionals to be screening them properly. So I don't know how much that
There
happens.
isn't a way of screening them properly. It just doesn't exist.
Why? What do you mean?
That
I'm
you
sorry.
just can't tell whose, you know, so-called gender identity will persist in that direction and whose will change over time. I mean, you have people that are like gender fluid and stuff. That just exists in some people. I don't really believe much in gender identity. I think it really is just a word you apply to feelings, and it's not very important. But some people's gender identity, if you believe in that kind of thing, does just move around all the time. It's very hard to tell. Like most kids, you know, they work that stuff out later in life.
So
You
do
know?
you think that, like, if there's like a what if the trans kid is very dysphoric, starting puberty, going through puberty, and is very dysphoric, and suicidal, kind of ideation? What do you think about then?
I mean, in general, I don't think we should be kind of doing this thing where it's like, oh, well, if a person says that they're going to top themselves, then we should bend to their will. At the same time, it's obviously like risk versus benefit, you know what I mean? But we should be
I
talking
agree with that.
about that in like extreme cases, I think. The vast majority of kids, I just don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right.
So my position is
I
not
mean,
like 100% ironclad. It has to be none whatsoever. But I think it needs to be. We need more evidence. We need more research, which we're doing in the UK. It's not ready yet. It's not a good idea right now, I don't think.
I mean, it seems like people know the effects of puberty blockers at this point, and I think parents can make medical decisions that are extreme. You know, kids get cancer, like intense things that limit their future prospects. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I don't think we know enough to say that. We don't know quite a lot of the long-term effects. That's part of the point.
Haven't puberty blockers been around for a really long time? Don't we know the effects on people's bodies? Okay, so you think that it's more. I thought it was interesting that you said bend to their will, bend to the child's will.
Yeah, do this or I'll kill myself is like manipulative, right? We shouldn't be going down those lines. It shouldn't really.
You don't
be
think
the way
that should be taken seriously?
Sorry?
I mean, you don't think that should be taken seriously? I mean, we know like the suicide rates and all.
Yeah,
I'll say that. It shouldn't be taken seriously. I'll say that as an unbiased moderator. You shouldn't take suicide that seriously ever. Especially not when Firebot does them. So you're a hypocrite, Aiko, for example.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I think we disagree about a lot of things, but
that's fine.
I'm not really gonna. Yeah, I'm not trying to change your mind about any of these things. I was just wondering about your thought process on that.
That's fine. Listen, I hope it makes a bit more sense. I do genuinely, I actually do care about these issues. It is a bit annoying that so many of the times people will just find the most offensive thing they can and say, I'm offensive. I really would rather people just kind of sat and listened for a while and got a broad range of my stuff. And not everyone's going to do that. And some people are going to judge me. That's fine. I understand. But like, to really understand and to really be able to kind of talk about me in a way that you actually understand, you do actually have to listen quite a lot. It takes time. And I understand that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have some fundamental disagreements, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I disagree. I think that you should take a suicidal ideation in kids, trans or cis, very seriously.
So I think what I would say, what I think is most pertinent here really, is that there needs to be able to be a breadth of like opinion on this subject. There needs to be able to be people that can say, I think kids should transition versus I don't think kids should be able to transition. And we're not calling one side child abusers and the other side bigots. I would really like to see that kind of thing. And I understand that I'm putting myself out there in a way that people are going to think I'm a bigot because I say things in a quite a brash and blunt way. But ultimately, we need to move to a place where there's more diversity of opinion, where we're not enforcing kind of progressive ideals on trans people. Like, I personally find that transphobic because you're telling trans people they need to regard their issues in a specific way and follow a specific kind of, you know, political ideal. If a trans person wants to be MAGA, it's not bad that they're trans and MAGA. I disagree with the MAGA shit. Whether they're trans or not, I'm not gonna, it doesn't matter to me, you know?
Yeah.
Trans people should be able to have those opinions
about.
and not be treated a certain way. Like, just focus on what you disagree with and stuff. That's what I'd rather people did.
What do you mean? Like a MAGA trans person should be...
Well, it doesn't matter that they're trans. They're MAGA. They believe some insane shit, presumably. And I'm sure you and I agree quite a lot on fucking Donald Trump, trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, it doesn't matter that they're trans. It seems transphobic to point out specifically that someone is like trans.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it matters that much.
If it's related, if it's an unrelated thing and someone's like focusing that they are, I've seen this a lot with different marginalized people. Like I remember there's this one guy who was like a Black Proud Boy MAGA guy, and it was always attached to that. Like, no one would ever engage with him on a deeper level than just, you're Black, why do you like Trump?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very, so...
Do you think you did it, Aiko? Do you think that you engaged with Mary Chu mostly on the fact that they're trans as opposed to with them as a person?
Well, I mean, I think it's overall as a whole. Wait, what do you mean exactly as a...
Do you think that you were too quick to come to conclusions about Mary Chu? Would you say that?
No, no, not really. I mean, I understand what she's saying.
That kind of makes what we all just talked about completely worthless. But fair
It's
enough.
completely counters the last thing.
I think we fundamentally I understand what you're saying. I think we have different beliefs when it comes to like gender. But I'm not going to tell you to change your beliefs to mine.
But will you shame
me for having
those
And if it was just your beliefs, I think that really what it was is seeing you, the way that you talked to femias, not because it's femias, but just, you know, I was a bit taken aback by that. And then seeing the stuff you were saying about this Katie Neves person based on this essay, that was my, if not for the vitriol that I perceived, I would not have been interested in any of this.
Yeah, I think you're not perceiving vitriol on the other side, and you've come into it halfway through, and you have
not femias. Forget femias. I just mean, like, I'm looking at you as you specifically, as you present yourself in talking about these things, and
but do you not think your judgment coming from the Katie Neves thing? So you've just watched the Katie Neves thing, and you think a certain thing. Now you've spoken to me and understood a bit more of the nuances of what I'm saying, and even, you know, I think you are actually getting some of what I'm saying, and I'm glad. You know, does it not kind of change things though? Would you not be less likely to say, well, this person's a trans TERF, this person's like advocating against their rights? Like, maybe it's a bit more complicated than that. Would that not kind of change your mind a little bit? At least in that way?
I think it's definitely. It's very nuanced. Yeah, I think that it's. I understand you have a nuanced perspective. Mm-hmm. I think like I said, if I just disagreed with your takes, I wouldn't have been interested at all. It was more like the way you were engaging, and the selection of the person and how you, the sources you use when it comes to Katie. So this was my analysis of your specific presentation in this video, and from what I've seen, aside from that.
Yeah, it just
the way
seems like
that you handle yourself
with it is all. I think that
Yeah.
Any sensible person, even if they did initially start out where you're at from watching the Katie Neves thing or whatever, should be able to understand that it's not necessarily fair to like shame someone for having specific positions. And it's not really fair to say, well, this person has some agreements with TERFs, therefore they're a TERF and stuff like that. I think when it starts becoming more generalized, it really should be about, you said this kind of stuff and I disagree with you. That's what I'd rather it was about, I guess.
I guess also it's like when I seeing, like you said, the way that you talk about things, present yourself on stream in these videos, is, what did you say, brusque? To an extent, yeah. I'm very brash and blunt. Yeah.
And I say things in more of an exaggerated and kind of entertainment-y kind of manner than I normally would.
Yeah.
But the underlying point remains the same. You know what I mean? And possibly, I think it's a fair criticism to say that I put myself across in a way that people are going to turn their brains off and just hear the kind of the more brash nature of how I'm speaking and not really listen to what I'm actually saying underneath it. You know what I mean? I think that is a fair criticism to make of someone like me, that I probably do inspire some people not to try and listen for the meat of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, like, you know, I felt like I was bringing some of the same energy back, because when I'm looking at Katie Neves and this, and there's nothing behind it that's presented, I'm like, oh, so this person she's just calling a man an AP, and that she's not trans, and going up, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
like
it does sound like Mary Chu.
And stuff.
Mary Chu, you're like a bitch, basically, because it's like, you say all this shit about all these people, but as soon as Aiko Starks you're like crying. Would you admit that's what you admit?
What's the crying?
Well, you're like whinging. You know.
Whinging how?
Well, like kind of like you're doing right now.
We're just having a conversation.
Well, it seems very clear to me that you were complaining about this, but you made a whole video about Aiko.
Yeah, I responded to the kind of things that were being said. I provided context.
Yeah. But when they talk, you're like, this person's obsessing over me. It's like we're all streamers, and it seems like you can't handle when Aiko does the things that you do to others. Would you acknowledge that? Well, can't handle, complained about it.
Sure, I don't know what you're saying.
All right.
We're all just going back and forth and shit flinging. And now we've had a bit more of a conversation, you know.
Uh-huh. No, I see. It just seems like, okay, we're at the point where you guys are like, okay, you know, I presume this and I presume that. I feel like we've hashed out the issues, so I just wanted to get it across. But I know I appreciate you guys for coming on, you know. Mm-hmm. Sorry but thanks for, I don't know if there's any other like last things you guys want to say.
I'll try and play nice. I appreciate having this conversation, I guess. That's about all I got.
Yeah, thanks for having this conversation. And Perry, I did this for you. You should be nicer to me, okay? I did this to give you content.
I'm nice enough.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll let you go. All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Wow, there we go.